welcome to Down the Vent. Apparently no one's going to talk till I sit down.
Duh.
I was just letting you say welcome to
Down the Vent.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
welcome back, friends.
Yes.
Welcome back, friends.
Yeah.
It's Down the Vent's live playthrough.
The Down the Vent's live play. Well, this is not. They're not coming back to this. We're talking too much.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna do a live playthrough of
Great.
Clank in Space.
The mic's up there, not over there.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Irrelevant.
So we're playing Clank in Space, like Steve just screamed.
Yep.
That's actually the title, though. So he's not. He's just reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
properly.
3 exclamation points. It's very important.
I'm Joe.
Steve.
Matt.
Travis.
All right. And yeah.
I'm gonna go over this a little bit. I haven't played this version, but I played the regular Clank several times, several times, probably a dozen or more. And I know generally what's going on with this. All right, so essentially it's a deck builder like any other type of a deck builder. The point of the game is to go in and get any one of these that are hexagonal pieces that are artifacts in here, any one of the ones that are in here, get that, and then make it out to one of the 4 escape pods, okay? Before the game actually ends. If you haven't made it to an escape pod before it ends, then you don't get the 20 bonus points that are on the escape pod. But you also need to have made it to, I believe, this area here before the end of the game. I'm going to double check
that's the
that.
safe space.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the safe space. And
It's much smaller this time.
well, it's different too. It's just in an entirely different spot. Yeah. So
What did we have to make it over to get first? I'm sorry.
any one of the artifacts. So any of the one of these are a hexagonal.
Okay.
You can only have one peer of your choice, and the amount of victory points they're worth is literally what they show on the number. Now, anytime somebody picks up one of these, it automatically moves this token up 1 here. Also, some of these mystery spots could also potentially do that. And the higher this thing goes, the worse it will be once he comes out. How does he come out? Well, we're going to spend on our turns to buy from the either top deck or these side cards. And depending on what you have is what you're going to get. So, as an example, the cost of the card is going to be here, is the bottom corner. So the bottom corner is the actual cost, what it costs you to actually buy. Top corner, if there is anything there, is the extra victory points it would be worth. Okay, what it actually gives you here is the thing that'll happen. So, on your turn, when you draw and you play out your 5 cards, like any other deck builder, you either buy. In this case, you move through, which is what your foot people are, or the attack token there allows you to either attack creatures here on the side. If there's more here, they could also come up in here from this deck. Or, if you notice, some of the spaces have this robot face on them. In order to pass over that space without taking damage, you would actually have to have at least one sword in your deck piece per one that you pass across. So from going from here to here, you would need 1 or more, or you take 1 damage, which you'd literally take out of your pile and put it on your appropriate track. Or more, if it was, like say 2 here, it would cost you 2 to do that same type of a thing. There's a couple special tramways and stuff, so when you're moving through, for each foot that you have, it moves you 1 spot. But if you get onto this tramway here, every spot that you roll goes from here to here, here to here, here to here. You can always get off if there's a space to get off there, but you don't have to. You can keep moving across. If you ever want to use one of the teleportations, you move into the teleporter, and you can move to any other teleporter on the board, I believe. But I believe that the big thing about that is that when you use a telepad, they're not physically connected. They work instead of using matter streaming technology. They also require a telepass. So in order to even use them, you have to have picked up one of these from one of the shops. Okay? The shops are any space that's got an E on it. So there's a ton of them around the various parts of the board. When you land on any space like that, you can spend 7 of your credits that you may have purchased to get any one of the pieces from here. So again, if you have the telepass and you land on the telepad spot, you can move to any other telepad anywhere on the ship. So it doesn't matter where. And you suffer dizziness after using either the hyperlift or the telepad.
What's the hyperlift? Sorry.
So the hyperlift
the
is
tramway.
the tramway thing. You suffer dizziness after using either and can't use any boots until your next turn. So in other words, when you use this thing to move up and down the line, or you use one of these, after you've used that, you can't continue moving using the boot cards that you have out. It kind of ends your turn. In the old game, there were ice caves that were the same kind of a deal. Once you hit an ice cave, no matter how much movement you had left, you were just kind of stuck there, unless something allowed you to bypass
Now,
that.
Steve, for our viewers at home that aren't familiar with Deck Builder, do you think it's worth giving a brief description of deck building and also space? People might not be familiar with that.
Now, space is how much area on the table it actually takes up. And deck building is essentially, there's a process that's done often in other countries where they create actual cards and then you use those to make games. It's an amazing situation. I've been a fan of decks of cards for many years.
I built the deck once or twice.
Yeah. I've heard that about you. That's,
A couple summers ago, we built a deck.
Yeah.
It was
Waiters and
exhausting.
all. Waiters and all. There's various other things. So again, you can buy from this thing. These all cost 7, but they give you victory points. All right. So again, these are 5 victory points, as do some other things on the board. And you can buy that from any space that's got the E on it. So there's several around the board. They can be various. Any space that you cross that has some kind of a symbol on it, you get. So like if you move through this, you get an extra money. If you credit. If you move through here, you gain a life back, so you'd actually take 1 off. If you go on to, let's see, where was the other one that I saw? There's these spaces. Let me see. Okay, so hacking a data port. Any of these spaces where there's a green space. The command module of the spaceship is protected by a force field, okay? To reach an artifact, so to get into any of this area over there, you have to hack the ship's computer in 2 different locations to grant yourself a 2-part command code. Scattered throughout the spaceship are a number of data ports. When you're in a space with a data port, you may place one of your 2 data cubes on it. You immediately get the bonus or penalty shown. So if you go to here, it'd be 5 extra money. If you go to here, it's 1 extra, or actually that might be a negative on that one. But you immediately gain get the bonus penalty shown. That port can't be used by any player for the rest of the game. Security will respond to your intrusion, so you have to stay on the move. Because of this, you can't place your second data cube in the same module of the space. So the modules are literally this whole section, this whole section, this whole section of the ship. So in order to get into this other area, you can't do that until you've placed 1 here and then 1 other section, actually, of this ship anywhere. Once you place your 2 data cubes in 2 different modules, you have completed your command code. Take a command code token, which I believe is this one. I will double check that.
Yeah, because it means you can get past this.
Right. That's why I figured it's that one. But I just want to make sure.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Hi, Bella.
Hi, Bella.
Hey, Bella.
Yeah. Command token.
Where is she?
She's watching us.
She's in the machine.
She's in the machine. Travis, put
She's
her
in
there.
space.
Yeah, she's in space.
Bella in
According to Steve's
space.
definition, it's just how much room is on the table.
Yes.
Yeah, until that is open, until you've got a command token, you cannot get into any of the other spots. Also notice, the command token has that up cube thing, which means that this will move up a space once anybody gains one of these, so they get more and more deadly as they go
That makes
over
more
time.
sense, because I was like, okay, so I'll just take this to the end to begin with.
Right, right,
Well,
right. Well,
why
also,
couldn't you do that?
any spot that there's a lot, well, because first off, you can't pass this without a command token, and any space that there's a lock on, you cannot pass unless you have the key, a key. That's also sold here.
I may have
Yes.
missed this. The red means you have to stop there if you're enter that room, or is that just different looking rooms?
I do not believe that that's I have to stop there. Is it?
I don't know. What it was.
Okay. When you first, let's see, moving through the ship. Okay, moving through there. Pathways are the things, so they have to be connected by a pathway, but anything that's connected. Sword damage. The lock icon on the side. Path shape, like an arrow, can only be used in the direction of the arrow. So anything that's already there. When you first move into a space, you may take one of the secret tokens there major or minor. So if you land onto here, you could take that if you want to. You land onto here, you could take one of the two, but you don't get to look at them first. Whenever you enter a security checkpoint, which are the areas with the red outline, like you were talking about, you are forced to stop to avoid detection. You cannot use any more boots this turn. You may still be able to move by teleporting, described in advanced maneuvers. So, which, that probably comes, there's probably, if it's anything like the other game, there's probably cards up there in the top that would actually, like, that you would eventually be able to use and put down on a future turn that allow you to teleport through something. That would allow you to bypass this, but those cannot let you pass the command token thing.
Shield.
Yeah, the force shield thing is done. If you're on a hyperlift space, you may move along its marked path to any other hyperlift. So when you move down the hyperlift space, you can move to any other one and then get off, as long as you're open. So if I get on here, I can move down to a different one or whatever, wherever I want.
No updates.
Let's see.
Every time Josh updates it, that breaks
Again,
his PC.
anytime that you would be forced to add Clank, you must do so as a thing. It is important to realize, since Travis, I think you're the only one who hasn't played this particular game. Any card that has Clank on it that's in your hand, like when you draw it during your turn, it must be played at some point during your turn. Like you can't choose not to play it like you would in any other, but it doesn't have to be played first. So if you get a card later that lets you discard a card out of your hand to do something else, you could choose to do that with the Clank card. You wouldn't have to add extra Clank in and still do that type of a thing. You know, like discard a card to draw an extra one. Okay, you know.
Or if you have a card that gives you -2 Clank, and you have a card in your hand that gives you Clank, you could play the Clank one first, put it in there, and then play the -2 one and remove it.
Right. Or if you're, but if you already have Clank in here, let's say you have 3 in there and you play that -2, you take 2 out. The only time you don't take it out is if it's already in the bag. Once it's in the bag, you're out of luck. Whoever was first puts 3 cubes on here, so you're going to be first. You put 3 in. You're going to put 2 in. You're going to put 1 in, and I don't have to put any. So, yep.
Take that, Matt. You dead. You dead.
Once you have the command code and you can get in here the artifact, you can steal an artifact. If you're in a space with an artifact token, you can pick it up and place it in your play area, or you don't have to. But once you have one, you can't get a second one unless, unless you get this. Because I'm pretty sure that this thing lets you get an extra one, but I'll double check that. You can only buy one of each. They're not. They're technically just supposed to be up to the side, and then people pick because 2 people could move over the same spot and still get it. Yeah, it's not limited to which one it is.
Was that upstairs or in that part?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Big like iceberg glacier.
Any of
thing.
this? Empty. Refill them with new cars. All right. So at the end of a turn, like at the end of each player's turn, if anybody's bought anything off of that top row, then then that would get refilled at the end of the turn. And if at any time the guys, Lord, what is his name? Lord Erraticus, I think it is. Yep. He would then attack essentially, and he will start moving stuff and putting him in the thing. Let's see. Advancing the boss marker may cause more cubes to be drawn in the next attack.
Yep.
When you get to the first of those spaces where it's got a red cube on it, the 3 spaces near the top of the rage track contain red cubes. When the boss marker reaches one of these spaces, take the red cube there and place them in the Clank area. They'll be added to the boss bag during the next attack. Whenever a red cube is pulled during an attack, every player takes 1 damage. So that's different. That's not in the other game, and that actually is much more deadly. What's more, the red cube is then returned to the Clank area. So it goes back into the area rather than being removed from the game as a possibility. So it could potentially go back the next time stuff is drawn.
Can you remove it as part of Clank? So if I play -2 Clank?
No, you could only remove your own Clank when you do -2. When you do the Clank, at least as far as everything I've ever seen. And then, see the second to top one there? There's that's a blockade. So when the boss marker reaches that last space, like gets to the very last space, that goes out here and blocks the tram from working, so you're not going to have that as an opportunity. You can get it to come up to here, but you can't go all the way to the end, is what it comes down to. Each player's health is tracked on the health meter. Let's see. If damage came from a boss attack, use the cubes that pulled them. Okay, let's see. You haven't gotten an artifact yet. Okay, so 2 things. If you haven't made it when the game actually ends, okay? If by the point that the game is actually completed, you have to have an artifact, and you have to have made it back to here in order to partake in the actual final stuff.
At least that spot.
Well, to
just that area.
Into this area.
Okay.
If you've got an artifact and you've made it back here, and you get off the ship with the escape pod, then you actually get an extra 20 points for that. But whether you have an artifact, if you get back here and you don't have an artifact, you still lose. You just straight out lose. You don't count your points or nothing. You have to have gained an artifact to get to there. What are the other things?
The foot on the paths mean you need 2 movement, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's more than 1 foot on there, you need extra movement.
So Travis, these when you go over those paths, you need 2 movement instead of just 1. These mean you need. I'm assuming these go to your sideboard. I'm guessing. I don't think they go on your deck, do they?
What's that?
These.
That in any of the red ones that you defeat up there, like that thing can be defeated over and over and over again, so it just kind of stays out and can be defeated whenever we want. But let's say we put another red one up here, it goes into a discard pile.
So it is part of your deck.
No, it goes into a discard pile that's just for this.
Oh, but over here, like another discard.
Yeah, it's for this deck here only.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just.
So how do you get past these? And I'm sorry, I know you covered it, but
if you in order to get past those without taking a damage, you have to have a sword from one of your other cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to actually be able to use an attack to do it. Yes, exactly. Let's see. That's different. There's one thing. So there are a couple things. One difference with this is, see in the upper left corner of a couple of these cards, there's a faction symbol for them, right? Much like in Marvel Legendary, if I want this thing to go off, I have to have a different card with that symbol on it to get this bonus to go off.
That was gonna be my
or
next
vice versa, right? So this card, even though it's the right faction, can't power this itself. A different one has to already be played. So if I had this and that, I could play this card. Which way would it be? This card first, and then if I play this card, I get the extra +2 because there's another one of that already down in my turn. If I played it the reverse way, I wouldn't get that technically, because it would be based on what was out when you did this, as to whether or not it goes off. That's very similar to the way Legendary works with its like if you had the things. Marvel Legendary? No, I thought you did once. Okay, so there's that. But there is one other thing.
What's the main deck builder called?
Dominion.
Yeah.
That's one you have. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like that, and then Ascension, which is like Dominion.
I think you played DC deck builder once or twice.
No.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Here they are. Okay, so
Played one of the superheroes in it. Is it DC or was it?
DC you may have played, which is it's a very different style. Like it's quite a bit different than deck builder.
You beat the guys that were out.
At the end, that's DC.
Well, that's not true.
Was there a board?
No.
Okay, it's DC then.
There was no board that you put everything out,
I don't think so. I think it was just like this.
and there was just like mainly there were bad guys in a pile, other than occasional like there was a stack of bad guys that you went through, as opposed to like revealing stuff out of a deck that had lots of bad guys, specifically like a specific bad guy deck.
Yeah, it was.
If it didn't have a board, then it definitely was DC. But if you were unsure about if it had a board, then it could have been either one. And you've also played Sentinels, which is kind of another deck builder that is superhero based, but it's quite different than either of the other two. So it's because everybody starts with their own. Okay, so the Master Key allows you to move between spaces that have a lock icon.
Do you
Teleporter.
discard it when you use it, or you just
No,
have
you
it?
have it. You have
Okay.
it for you have it to do it. The telepass lets you use the telepads. Otherwise, you can't use them. The contraband. This is contraband. There are cards that say something about contraband being on them, and so you get a bonus for that. And this one, the med kit. When you buy this, you immediately heal 2 damage. So you take 2 damage off of here, and you can
Can you
put
buy it any time?
You have to make this
anytime you're on an E, like what I was talking about. That's what the E is. Those are markets. Yep. And then these things here have various extra, like all kinds of different powers. And when we turn them over, we'll go over that. Most of them can be kept until you want to use them, except occasionally there are ones that require you to use. So like there might be something on here that would give you health back. You don't have to use it immediately, but when you do, you get health back. You know, and that type of thing. That's largely like most of what it is. Oh, there is one other thing. Okay. None of these cards happen to have it, but at the bottom, sometimes on the cards of these cards, there will be a thing that either says arrive or it says when defeated or whatever else. So when you turn the card over, if it has an arrive special ability, then you'll actually do whatever that arrive is right then. Like whatever it says in the arrive, it'll happen right away. If you put out, if it's a defeated one, which would usually be like off of a creature, when it's defeated, some special thing happens.
Okay.
Right. And that's largely most of it. Again, anytime it's a green, like a small green circular number like this, it's 5 victory points as an example, you know, for that guy. This one here is another one of the factions. So even though it doesn't have a faction symbol up here, if you had a different green faction, this turn you could actually add extra movement and whatever else.
So the amount of money they give you, the amount of attack they give you, the amount of movement they give you.
Right, if they give you any of those things. Victory points they give you at the end of the game if you get it.
You can't use this extra stuff without first having played someone else from the same faction.
Right.
None of the blues that buy power.
Right. Which you did say, yeah. And the cost is there at the bottom of those. These you can always, no matter what's up here, these go. And here's the thing, like let's say that, like a valid thing on this game is that because the only way this guy attacks is when stuff comes out of here and it gets replaced, other than like a very rare occasion. If you don't want the clank, like the possibility of an attack to come, as long as you keep either buying from here or doing this stuff, that doesn't happen because this is all boldly goes. You know what I mean? It's all that. These are all those. These are all those.
So what's the advantage of memory core?
It's just worth 5 points.
5 victory points.
Oh,
It takes up a spot in your deck, so it's not necessarily something maybe you want right away. But at some point, you know, it's
could you win the game with just memory cores?
possibly, but your deck's going to be very slow because you got to figure that it doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, and you also
you have to
get one of these and come back to even. Score.
Yeah. You must get an artifact. If you, as I mentioned twice now, while you were looking at stuff otherwise.
I do my best to pay focus.
I know. You must have an artifact, and you must make it back to here, at least to here, in order to take part in the final scoring.
So the one thing, maybe you described it, and maybe I missed it, is like the deck build. Every time in a deck build, you have phases to your turn. So you have like an action, a buying, a cleanup.
You just do that. It's
Any order.
yeah. It's somewhat in any order. I mean, like you obviously clean up at the end of what you're doing, and you know like that. And it's 5 cards.
I do believe you have to play all your cards though in this.
Yeah.
Some deck
Well,
builders you don't have.
No. The only cards that you must play are clank cards.
Okay.
Unless you're forced. The rest of them you could choose not to play the
Okay.
stuff, but there's rarely an advantage to not playing.
For
everything.
sure. Yeah.
Like you know what? Like if you have 4 movement, you could move 2. You don't have to move 4.
It's too much happening. It's like not
That'd be it. Once you start playing the cards, we'll help you. That's-
It's your turn first.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did have a question though. Where can you move to as your first movement? Oh, it's
Down
connected.
one.
I didn't see it was
It's
connected.
connected.
Sorry.
To the
The,
space that's
the
connected
piece
to
was
you.
blocking it, so I didn't
Oh,
see that it
you're
was
understand.
connected.
I
wait for
understand.
General Batman to come meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your strategy.
Travis, speak up.
So that.
There's another
Josh.
message retracted from Josh.
Okay, so I'm
He
playing
said,
Stumble
"Travis, speak up." That's what he
Because-
said. Yeah.
Speak up.
because,
What?
like Steve said, you have to play the ones that add clank. So I put another clank on the board down.
How many of these do I need to take?
5.
5.
Right. And then
So I get 1 movement. So I'll move, and then I have 3 buy. So I will buy a Boldly Go.
okay.
These all go to my discard, and then I draw my next 5.
Can you only buy one thing, or as much money?
Spend whatever you have money for, and you could attack multiple things if there were multiple things to attack. So any of that's
So
feasible.
that's 2 buy and a movement, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Good thing to start.
Okay, so a couple things that you missed. Notice at the top left corner of some of those cards, there's
Yeah.
a symbol. It's a faction symbol, just like legendary. So, like as
Exactly
long as I have
what
both
that
of
when I
those,
saw it,
right,
yeah.
right.
So if you had that one, you played it, that would trigger that one.
That would let you
special
do
ability,
that if
yeah.
you played that one
Otherwise,
afterwards.
it's just 1 movement, not
right,
3.
right.
Okay.
And then obviously, like that one doesn't have any faction, but it does give a faction. Like there's a
Right.
green faction that could make that go
So
off.
you got 5 buy and 1 movement.
There's 3. That's 6 to buy that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bottom
I was
right.
looking at the top.
You could buy one of these ones.
Or you could buy one off the road.
Mm-hmm.
So just by himself, he's worth that.
And a movement, yeah.
And movement.
Yeah, and that's Nibbling Beast. He is like Stitch, but he's also actually like Nibbler. Like it's like he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
combination of Nibbler, and a lot of that is. Like, notice he's a red shirt. You know, he's boldly going. Notice the number on the cube of the memory core.
Oh, nice. I didn't even
It's
see
42. Yeah. So like that's the big thing about
Can you
this.
move me
Oh
down?
wait!
Oh,
Don't
wait, yeah.
we replace? And you always replace first because it could cause the.
Wait, so
Give
if
me
I
go.
buy, can I replace and then buy again?
No,
No.
you don't replace until the end of your turn.
Can you move me 1, please? I'm done.
You wanted to go the other way.
Yes, please. Oh.
I almost felt bad doing that.
mean, it's
What did you
valid.
buy? The Baron?
Yeah, we need to replace.
Yep.
About the Baron.
Yep.
Meow. The Meow Baron.
War hack. If you trash any cards this turn, gain 2 extra
Movement.
movement.
It doesn't allow you to trash
Replace
a
any
card.
cards you acquire this turn on top of your deck instead of in your discard pile.
Professor.
That's when you play them out.
So it's always 6.
Always 6.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So I have scramble and some hacks. So I'll also move 1, shockingly. And I have 5 buying power.
Phaser.
I just want to play Dominion now. Is there? So
I like
what's
Clank
the,
a lot.
What's the? I love Dominion. I know it gets a lot of bad.
I don't dislike.
What's
I don't
what's
dislike
the,
it.
Is there crud in this game? What's that called? Filler?
Yeah, the Clink card. You just got 2 in your hand.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. So pretty.
Also, there's this. Like, if you buy that, it's literally nothing but victory points.
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah. I mean, essentially, this is the equivalent of the victory point cards. You know, the ones that actually
Whatever
give
it's
you.
called,
Yeah, like the one that gives you 1, 3, or 5 or whatever. You know, then it's that one.
So I only have 1 option for movement. I do have 4 buy.
I do generally.
So could these be good or bad? These question mark things?
Oh, you should have
Yeah,
been there.
mostly good. There are a
Okay.
couple bad.
Okay.
Too busy being a parent.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
So 1 sec. This gets replaced.
No.
What? It's the end
It
of my
does. I
turn.
know.
Alright. Add 2 to the flank pile for me, please. And I get a movement, so I'll just follow that. I have 2 buy power. Nothing up here I can buy, but I can buy.
Phaser.
Phaser.
Alright. Okay.
These now they all go into discard.
Right, and then now you'll shuffle them and put them back out.
2 plank, buy a phaser, and can you move me 1 down, please? To join the party.
Alrighty then. So also 2 clank, shockingly. And 2 buying power. And I'll get another one of those.
You think it's your movement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt, your
So,
turn.
Was there any way to defend against the monster?
Try and take your Clink out ahead of time.
There's not really. Yeah, getting rid of your clank. Otherwise, no.
So 3 movement and 5 buying power.
So all the even bad on the phaser.
That's 1 per, right?
No. No, when you go out on it,
Yeah.
you move as far down the line as you want to. But then when you get, I think it's as far down the line as you want to. Is it when you step off, or is it wherever you end, then you're stopped? You can't use any more movement like through the teleporter. Just a second, I will tell you. Hyperlift, if you are on a hyperlift space, you may move along its marked path to
'cause you're
any
dizzy.
other
That's
hyperlift.
right.
Physical connected. Okay, yeah. No, you get to like wherever you stop on there, you're
dizzy.
Yeah, you're dizzy.
Okay.
Hyperlift space. Move along its marked path to.
Just means my body.
So how do you track? You take this to your hand.
Out of the,
And
yeah,
when
out
you
of the
stop
deck.
here, do
Yeah,
I just,
well,
I
it just
just
depends
acquire
on
whatever
it
this
depends
is?
on how it says
that?
trashing.
When I stop here,
Like
I
how
just
like
acquire
some
whatever it
cards
is.
allow you to trash for wonders and some of the others. What's it?
And you can't trash a stumble.
You're dizzy. What does dizzy mean?
You
just
don't.
get
You
started
stop
moving.
movement.
Yeah.
You can't move.
But I
anymore.
still acquire whatever's on top if I go there.
You
right?
stop at the space. You don't get off. You stop at the space that you are on the tram. So, like, let's say you went here. Wherever you stop, you stop. You don't get off there. You just stop. So you pick which spot you're going to stop at, and you stop and you're
But
dizzy
before
there.
you can go past
Then you
here,
can come back off
Yep.
at the next turn. Then you would be able to grab the thing, but you can't on the same turn that you're on now.
Gotcha.
And before you can go past here, you have to stop at a market, buy a
Key. Right.
and then what's that mean?
That's the thing where you have to have put down
Two
your
of these green things.
two
open.
of those with these two cubes that you have. That we mentioned that part. Did you remember that part?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, but it's a
You
lot.
don't?
It's
Okay.
a lot to try and keep track of.
Okay, so
You get one of these once you have both of these cubes out on the board.
right, and you can only you once you're on a space, right? You can take the thing and you can fill the spot, but once you fill the spot on a given tile, you can't fill any other spot on that same tile. You can't. So you could come like here and do one, and then you'd have to go to somewhere else before you can get past any one of those to get into where the artifacts are.
One. Can I do 1, 2?
No, because once you're
Okay.
no. Oh yes, you can because
you're
you're
not
not
using
taking the
the
tram.
tram, you're just
Right,
walking
right.
through
You
the-
can do that. Yes,
You're just walking through the subway.
Do I get this for walking through or stopping on it?
walking through.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And then I can put one of my tubes out, right?
Yeah. Let me just verify on how that works.
For
That's what that is, right?
I
That
believe
symbol?
so. I'll double check.
I would assume it's 2 of these. If not, I don't
No,
want
it's
to do
not.
it.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
two of those.
It's
Okay.
definitely
It's
not two
this
of those.
symbol.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
this blue
It's
blue
definitely
symbol.
Clank,
Yeah,
'cause it's
yeah.
so close.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 99% sure it's Clank.
I got 99 problems and Clank is one.
Okay, then I do not want to do that if that's what it gives me.
Is that so? We're thinking this is Clank.
No. If he uses this to get his first cube out there, that's gonna give him 2 more Clank, I think.
And you have to have the cubes out there to do this.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have both of them. Then once you get both your cubes out there, you can pick up one of these, and that allows you to go through those areas.
And so how do and you get your cubes out by going to
Just stopping in those spaces.
With the green things.
Any green
Um,
things?
Yeah, any
Yep.
of them. Some of them actually give you stuff.
When you're in a space
They're
with a
harder to
data
get
port,
to.
you may place one of your 2 data cubes on it. You immediately get the bonus or penalty shown, and
Okay.
the penalty, and that's
So
a
it's 2
penalty.
Clank.
It's 2
Okay.
Clank. Yep.
Some of them are only 1, but yeah.
And some of them are none.
Some of it's hard.
Do you get this for stopping on it or walking over it?
I appreciate
Stopping.
the stop, yeah.
Actually, no, that's actually not true. I think that's actually when you go through. Hold on, let me double check that one too, because it's just been a second since I've done that. Blah blah blah. When you first move into a space, you may take one of the secret tokens there and put it in front of you. Yeah, you just
Okay.
grab one as you walk through.
So I'm gonna do this then. 1, 2. Take that. 3.
Okay. All right.
You get a money, right? For stopping.
You
I
could
got
take. You could have taken either
I
one,
got
by
it.
the way.
Okay. I don't know what the symbols mean, but
You put it out. You show everybody.
So on top
It stays
of,
out.
On top of the money
So-
on the cards, you can
So
have
that one is
I'm assuming you use
multi-pass.
all the factions.
Use during your turn to use
That's
all
not what you
faction-related
use to buy
text on your
stuff.
cards during that turn.
That's
It only
actual
happens that
money
turn.
that you used to buy art, like those things over there from the shop.
Okay, I'm good then.
Oh, you can't use your money to buy those?
Right.
on your cards.
Right. Yeah. You have to use space bucks to buy those things over there, right? You can't use like the blue
Correct.
on your
Yeah,
Right.
use.
Right. That's why it's, see the 7 right here. That's why it's that.
Draw a card. The exterminator.
Okay.
Am I stumbled?
Okay.
You have to stop in the red spot. You
Yeah,
can't go
the
past
red
it.
spot with the hashing on it is a
That's it.
scared area.
Yeah,
You
so you
must
have to
stop
stop
in that
there.
spot.
And then I can't keep moving after through it.
You must stop in that spot.
And-
You
and
can't
my-
move.
and
You
can't
can't move
continue.
afterwards. Yeah. That's usually what happens when you stop.
1, 2, 3.
Nope. Because when you take the tram,
You'd stop there.
Yeah.
if you
Stop
don't
there, yeah.
go, if you go through a tram spot, that's one thing. But if you take the actual tram, you stop at whatever space you end on in the tram. 'Cause you're dizzy.
I'll stop there.
Okay.
I can
All right.
still buy it. Though,
You
right?
can still do all the other stuff that you could do.
Okay. Take another.
Okay.
To clank. And I have 1 movement, 4 by, and an attack. I'll go here. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. There. 4 by. Ain't no by.
He got 4. Bye.
Yeah.
So will I be able to move my next turn? Or no?
Yep. Assuming you get movement cards, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get off and go either way from there.
Good.
Huh.
We did determine that's clank.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Oh, okay. Yep.
Why would I want a nice crystal?
I'll battle. Well, wait a minute.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if they're worth points at the end of the game or not.
I believe they are.
But it would help you with cards such as this.
Yeah, there are cards that give you stuff.
Wait, I missed what the ice crystals did, yeah.
There isn't a lot about
Oh,
them.
draw
Power
a card
crystal.
for each power
Some
crystal you
rewards. Some reward spaces on the board give you a power crystal. Power crystals are a limited component. Some of your cards may provide bonuses that work much like a faction bonus. If you have a power crystal, you may use those bonuses. You only get the bonus once, no matter how many power crystals you have. So having more than one power crystal is not necessarily super important. Right. Okay, so I'm going to battle this guy for 1, because I have 2 attack. I will move 1.
Who you battle this with?
This guy, you can
He's
always
always
battle
out.
him.
For what? Oh, get money.
Yep.
Is a gob ally on
Oh man, I didn't realize
L1N.
Yep.
L1N.
G0B, LIN. L1N. I'm going to go there. And I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6
Wow.
by. So, ooh, that's not bad.
The professor got 3 by. I didn't see that.
The professor.
Baby's bonus, though.
Get a feel for this game now. Starting to like it.
Alright.
Yeah, it's not so bad. And we've
Um,
all played Clank with the exception of you, so obviously it's.
The original one was like a dungeon.
I would like that.
There was less going on.
Not really. It's
Yeah.
almost all
It
the
was
same.
not the force fields
Yeah, but I mean, there were other things though. There were other things.
or the crystals.
No, but they had those monkey heads, and they had other things that you got on the board otherwise. So,
I don't think I've ever played a deck builder where there was a board that you moved down.
Right. That's what's kind of neat about Clank. I don't think I've ever played one.
I
other
was
than
working
Clank.
on a design for a racing game that was a deck builder.
And then you played that game Josh has where it's like the French racing game and it's like stop, go.
I've never played
2002
Meals
or-
Born.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played that. He was born.
good.
Where'd you take Clank out?
Oh, that's right. It's not now. It's when you play the
This
card.
one, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the other ones that say when you acquire them, you get to do something. So,
Oh, yeah. Alright, Mark.
That's 5 by.
You can't buy more hack. That's all you get, huh?
By an exterminator.
It's going nowhere. My turn?
Nope, gotta flip a card first, see if the dragon comes out. Or whatever his name is. Android Assistant.
It's not about a tie. He doesn't do 2 attack. It's just you. Whatever the amount of attack symbols are down here, you have to have that much to attack him.
Yep.
So you have 2. That's enough.
Okay.
So
He's dead.
Yep.
Space buck.
Yep.
Space buck.
And I still have 4 buy. And I'll just take. Is there anything 4/4? No. I'll take another Volpe though. Oh, and I have 1 movement. I'll go here. And I'll take that.
So what'd you get?
I don't know.
Set it down. Let's see.
Matt didn't reveal his.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you have to.
I got a potion with 2 swords.
Okay, so that means you have 2 extra attack power. You don't have to use it now. You can use it at any point. So you
But
can
it's
hold on
gone
to it.
once.
Yeah, it's 1 use though. So if you want to hold on to it until a future turn and see whether or not it's worthwhile, then you might want to put it over with your money and stuff.
So that
nobody
just
else takes it.
requires movement, right?
2 movement instead of 1. Yep.
That requires a key.
Yep.
Which I have to buy with space bucks.
Right.
For 7 space
And
bucks, yeah.
that's for combat.
Right. You can move through the one that's got the combat, but if you move through it and you don't have any combat to battle it, then you take 1 damage for each one of those that's on the spot you didn't have a sword for.
Okay.
So in that case, it'd be 1 unless you had 1.
All done?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to move here. 2 space bucks. Let's get those, right?
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Alright. And then, I have 4 buy and 2 fight. So I'll fight him first, get another space buck.
Okay.
4 buy. I'll get the android assistant.
All right.
Squawk bot. Oh. +1 clank. What? What a terrible robot.
How's it going, guys?
Alrighty. So I got to put a clank
Is there any
in.
cards that let you play Clank against another person?
There are cards that will make clank happen for other people. Yes. Yes. And I will move 1 into here, and I'll take that one. Get the same dealy do. I can't move anymore. I get 3. Go ahead, man.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 by and 1, 2, 3, 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just an extra movement. And then I'll put this out here. And then I gotta buy something. I don't have to, but I'll buy the Crystal Thief. Acquire, take a power crystal.
My turn?
You take power crystals from other people. Like once they're out, like if you get something that will give you a power crystal.
Potentially.
Really?
I don't know.
Like say all these were gone and I landed here, I wouldn't steal one from someone.
And I'm going to move here.
Okay.
And I have to place a Clank, right?
Yep.
And then I get to take.
Put your cube in there too.
And then I have 6 buy. So I'll take the Professor.
Okay.
And you only get that for
When you play them.
Yeah.
play 'em.
All done?
Yep.
Squawk bot. Clank. And movement. So I'll go here. Which can we get an extra buy this turn? I'm guessing that's what that is. Extra buy?
Yeah.
Well, one buy power.
Yeah, 1 extra buy power.
2, 3, 4, 5 then. I'll play the exterminator. Or buy the exterminator.
It's not shocking.
And we're Devo.
Wow.
All right, so let's see here.
Gloves.
does the plus on the nibbling beast mean?
It means it could do more.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Alright, so play that to put that out. I will move one. And I will defeat the dude for one. And I will buy. What am I going to buy? I will buy.
Call me, Travis.
I'll buy lead Android assistant.
Clean up. Ooh, new guy. Telepad technician. You may teleport to a telepad in your current module. How do you know what module? Oh, the probably
Sections of the board.
Yeah.
He also gives you 2 buy and
I'll play the Exterminator and draw a card. Still gives me a plank.
Yeah, there's a lot of clank in there already.
Yup.
I guess he only draws 2 though, doesn't he, to start with?
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2 movement, 2 attack. So 4 by.
uh-huh. I want this telepad technician.
2 attack. 2 movement.
Good. Travis?
Okay. Gotta add 2 plank to the old clank bank.
Clank bank.
Similar to the Spank Bank, but a little slightly
And I've got
more
3
PG.
movement, but I can get through that.
Okay.
And I'll place my other guy.
No. It's
Has
got
to
to
be
be in a different
of the
section.
board.
That's what I said just a minute ago when I re-described it. And I said it the first 2 times I
I
said it
had
to you.
already made up my mind. That's what I was doing.
I know, I do understand. I do understand. You do that a lot.
Well, I want to do that one instead then.
You don't have that as an option. You did the other the turn before. You can't just pick to do a different entire one because you.
Why?
There's
There's
no
no
entire previous-
consequences to it. Unless you, you want to get there. That would
No,
be-
I mean-
so I can't
no,
get
I
the
mean-
can I get the crystal or no?
What do you mean?
So I can't get the crystal because I'm not putting this
Yeah.
down.
No.
You get the
No,
crystal
you
no
get the
matter what.
crystal either way.
Oh.
You got the crystal automatically.
Because you stop there. What?
Even if you wouldn't have stopped there, walking through the space gives it to him.
Oh.
It's you don't have to stop in the space to get the bonus.
Hold on, bud.
So I've got 1 movement left.
I don't want you to come up.
I
I'm
didn't
just
buy
coming down.
I only have one notice. So with my 1 movement, I have at least 1 combat, so I can move through here and get to there, right?
Yep.
And get this purple at least.
Yep. What's it do? Ooh, that's pretty strong. Okay,
One
so
crystal equals-
it's worth a crystal on its own,
Mhm.
but for every crystal that you have at the end of the game,
Hey,
it's
wait.
worth 3 extra victory points.
What are you playing?
Clank in space.
So
Oh.
no.
Pretty
He doesn't
fun.
get another crystal now. It's an extra crystal.
Oh.
So he'll
This is
get
pretty fun.
a crystal for.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. What else are you gonna do?
I have only $1, so I can't do
Look
anything.
up. All right.
Could buy a sweet bot, but it's kind of up to you.
Squawkbot.
Squawk bot.
Yeah, I'll take those.
All right.
Alright. 4 by. Well, first I'll play this guy to draw a card.
Forgot.
There we go.
You forgot, Dad.
I did.
Yes. Oh, hey, Steve, are you white?
Nope.
Are you orange?
Nope. That's your dad.
Are you pink?
Nope.
Or are you blue?
Nope. I'm purple.
I just said purple.
No, you said pink.
1. I can
Oh.
get this right, even though I got the first one.
Oh, I see. I think
2, 3.
you are blue because I
Oh,
see
yeah,
blue, and I think
Oh boy.
you.
That doesn't look good.
I think
What does that
you
mean?
are white because.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
Shh. Okay. You
That
need to
means
stop
that
talking,
at
okay?
the
I'm trying to
end,
play a game.
vaporizer. At the end of this turn, trash a card from your discard pile or play area. So you'll be able to get rid of something completely.
Your clank card's not in there?
Yeah,
The
he's
one
gonna
is.
stumble.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I got that. I moved. I'm done with moving. I got 2, 4, 6 to buy.
Can you use the attack on your guy in 2 different turn capacities or no?
Yeah,
So-
you could do 1 and 1. Yeah.
So like if I move through here, I could fight, and I could, because I played someone, I could also do that.
Each one that you use is one of the attack
Okay,
power
so
that
you-
you have. So if
Okay.
you had 3 attack power, you could do that.
Okay.
You know, or have one guy that costs 3 or something, sure. But otherwise, no.
And
That
what's
needs
the
to be
thing about-
replaced.
Sorry, and thing about restricted areas, what happens
You
there?
stop.
Okay.
Okay. I can't make them come up there, buddy. It's almost bedtime, okay?
Okay. Let's see. So.
Somebody named Paul said something.
No, that was a while ago.
Oh.
Oh, no. Someone's on there right now. Okay. Thank you. What does it say?
Makes them think pigs in space.
Pigs in
That-
space.
that was
Is
the
it a
point.
movie?
No, there's in the old Muppet TV show. There was a
Yeah.
segment called Pigs in Space,
Pigs.
which was the whole point. Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure somebody else that I saw did the same joke, but it's the perfect joke.
So flip this way.
All right.
Actually, it's empty, but
So,
I figured it might drip a little still, so.
Hey, Steve.
so
Guess you like regular ones better now.
I will go. I will spend my 2 movement to go there. I will get a crystal for going there.
Bristol.
I will put out one of these, which gets me 2. I will fight the thing, which gets me another one. And I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buying power. And 6 buying power.
Oh, this one's upside down. I was like, why does it look weird? But okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything's facing the other direction. I got it.
That is correct, sir. You guessed correctly. LA.
Oh, these 2 are interchangeable. I see. Engineering and Doomsday Cannon.
All right, I'm gonna buy one of those, and another one of those.
Holy smokes.
You clean it now?
Yeah.
Bad guy.
What's that mean?
-2 clank if you defeat him.
Yeah, it's like
Oh
those are
my
both.
gosh.
Those are just like these, except for they go away out of the thing if somebody
So you
defeats
can
them.
pick them up, put them in here.
No. They just get discarded.
Get out of the
You
game.
battle them just like you do the goblin, but they go away. And in these cases, you get to remove 2 clank out of here. So you get to pull 2 cubes back.
This was shuffled, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was 2 separate decks. And I
Just
shuffled
once.
it. No, I riffle shuffled it. I riffle shuffled it a couple times and
I
did
alphabetized it.
stack.
Was I not supposed to do that?
Ah. Yeah, that's the type of stumble I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you run out of clank to put in, that's fine.
So I'm gonna use that.
It's just all in the bag.
And I'm actually gonna use that.
Okay.
So I'll play that so I get the extra movement and don't have to stop at security checkpoints.
Okay.
Play that and those. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 movement.
Okay.
And I don't have to stop at security checkpoints. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I'll put that there, which gives me 2 monies.
2 extra buy this turn, not 2 money.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
So 8 buy then.
And you get that, and that guy goes up.
Does that mean all the plank goes in the bag?
No,
Oh, really?
no. Clank goes in the bag when this symbol, the guy's head comes out on one of these cards.
Oh,
It's just the difference is how many get pulled out.
right.
8 buy is not helping me that much this turn.
Just buy 4 of these.
No.
These are army.
No. Buy 3 of these and those 2 guys.
There you go.
Now you're on it.
Squawkbot army.
Your girl is on fire.
Can you read all those words?
I heart my dog, Dad. I strive to be the person my dog thinks I am. Where'd you get those stickers?
Do you get these purple ones from just going through them?
My dog thinks I am.
Part of
Mom,
part of
David.
Gloomhaven.
Okay.
What's that?
Do you get these purple ones just by going through them as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are my favorite now.
I'm gonna spend
I
3.
tried to find something.
On acquire gets me 2 movement.
Yep.
I'll say, oops. 1, 2.
Okay.
Which I don't know what that does.
That's the one where you can, at the
Burn a
end of your
card.
thing, you trash 1 card out of your
Rip it
hand
up.
or discard.
Legacy. Clank and Space Legacy.
Oh,
Clankacy.
you're
Clank.
you lose
Oh, okay.
Oh man, why?
because he's trying to rip on my cards, dude.
So Emily's gonna be home later than she
Do you have
I thought so.
do you
It
have to take
seems
the
appropriate.
artifact when you land on it?
No. You always choose whether or not you want to take an artifact.
And do
But you
get-
can only carry 1.
Yeah, and do you get these just for passing over them, or you have to stop on them?
That was the part where I said you get them for passing over.
I know you just said the answer, but I forgot.
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
it.
Well, you get this the same way.
Okay.
This is
I didn't know
major and
purple was
minor.
different.
No, major and minor. That's the only difference.
Okay, so
She's
buy
supposed
that
to
for
be-
6.
Okay.
Which gives me 2 more movement.
Well, 3 more, you mean? Yeah.
3.
I've actually
For 3 more. You said buy
I said
it
it
for
gives me
6.
2 more movement.
You said buy it for 6. You technically bought it for 3.
Yeah, but
It's
I've
off the
used.
6
That's what I
total.
said. Right,
Yeah.
right. Right. But when you said it, I didn't want somebody to think you paid 6 because they're not paying attention to that.
So it's just 5 credits.
Right. That's you just get the 5 credits for it. And then
Oh, same
goes
same
into the
thing.
discard.
What do you do with those like color things?
What?
Over
Those
the
those things are what you use in order to get into the other part of the ship. You can't get into that part of the ship without that.
Oh, so
Right.
when these things are like for getting in.
No, those are data cubes that's showing that's you hacking into the system and trying to figure out how to bypass security.
Oh
Yeah.
So it's still
You
too
probably
bad.
they do that on Ninja Go.
no,
I don't
They
want to
don't.
find it.
2 blanks.
No.
You definitely should get that.
As long as my trash my stumble.
You didn't want to get a phaser for 2?
No.
How
Oh.
can you trash this stuff? Because you got a thing that let him trash.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
do you
yeah.
have
Alright, all done?
Yep.
2 and 10? And why do you
Oh
have
man.
2 and 10?
Oh man.
And why do
Oh,
you have 2
and the guy comes out. Okay, so you're gonna be the first person to do this. See the pink thing at the corner there? That's what determines that it comes out. Okay, so Matt, you're gonna be first at this.
You're all done?
Shake those up and draw 2 blindly.
I was just gonna my turn defeat a guy and get mine as Clank. Too late. Oh yeah, another white one, please. Black.
Black
goes out.
just sets to the side. Yep,
How many do we do?
that's
That's
it.
it.
Just
Oh,
to-
okay.
it's based on how many are on here on this section of the design.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Good try, but you can't do it. I'm afraid you just have a. I think you have a look in there and see what
So
color.
does it still cost a movement if the cost is fighting the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it still costs 1 movement to do it.
Okay.
You have to have the movement, but you don't technically have to spend the swords to fight them. But any one that you go over and you don't have a sword to spend, you have to take 1 of your cubes and put it directly into your damage because you take 1 damage immediately.
Where's the damage spot? Damage.
These are over there. See, Matt's got 1 and nobody else has any yet.
I'm just gonna go here.
He was loud. He's just very loud. That's all.
And then
So that's why.
What are you
he's
doing?
not-
He moved, and you're
Okay.
using your fight, right?
use my fight and get a.
You're not gonna. Well, you had to fight a monster.
Oh,
there,
yeah,
or
yep.
take
Yeah.
a-
Your choice. You can
Yeah, it's
not
your
fight the
choice.
monster.
I know what I understand. I just forgot. So then I'll buy 1 of these for 3, and I have a spending power of 7, and then 2 phasers.
Really
Well, all right.
interesting.
Alrighty.
It's my turn.
All right. Let's see here.
Hey, Dad.
All right, gotta
Hold,
fight.
please. Doing stuff.
Oops. Oh, I want it right in the bag, please.
Okay, I'll put her in the bag.
It's -2 clank immediately. You can't.
Yeah, it is immediately.
Right.
So.
Right.
This is
All right. Well, I
my
have 3
favorite
fight,
one.
so I'm gonna defeat the savage Gorklar, and he actually goes in my discard pile. What's a friend?
Play it as your friend. If he's
So
your
when
friend,
I play it, I get
you
that.
draw
card.
2
Okay,
cards.
it's not like okay. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by. Oh, there's a lot of spot pots I could get there.
Why does something?
I'm gonna go crazy and throw one of these in my deck already.
Oh my
thought about
gosh, you're done.
Oh, and I had movement. Duh. I had 2 movement.
Then why does
I'm just gonna
thing
move
down
here and fight
You
Travis.
farted.
I'm just kidding.
Very nice. Bought a phaser army.
All right.
Was it
He's about to
you
set the
who farted?
phasers to fun.
Was it you who farted?
Oh, and a new card comes out. Because I defeated the guy, and it goes up again. Or no, it attacks again.
Ooh.
So my clank goes in.
Draw 2.
No, I don't want orange. That's bad.
Oh, womp.
Come on, white. Ah.
So wait, what does this one mean?
You have to have one of these to go through it.
And how do you get one of those?
By having your cube.
Both of your cubes. You know
Oh,
when you were trying to
cubes.
cheat and put your other cube out in the same area?
Oh, so I can't walk out of this zone. I have to go back that way.
Or you can come down to this zone and put it
Yeah.
in one of these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, my plan was to walk up this way.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Right.
This game has weird rules. Play Dominion, kids.
No.
The
You
trains.
make a much better choice here.
Information Central.
Nah. I don't think it's
All right, so I have to play that,
So after this game, it's my bedtime, Dad?
and I will play
before this game's
these.
over, it's your
I get to
bedtime.
remove 2 clank, so that comes
Way I
back
understand
out.
this rules. You'll wake up and we'll all still
And
be playing it.
it's 2 movement.
No, it'll end eventually. You'll just die.
When are we gonna pick some of those squares?
Is everyone eating pizza or no?
I'll eat. Yes,
Oh, I didn't know there was pizza.
we
Oh,
haven't.
we had
order
pizza
pizza.
last
Yeah.
night.
I didn't bring any cash. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll pay
Oh,
for
we
yours.
have
Okay.
pizza here. We can eat.
Sure.
Pretty good pizza.
I'm gonna take that.
We just got it
So
yesterday.
there's both
for
my
dinner.
movement. Oh,
There's
that's
only
fine.
one piece of that pizza left. I don't think we can split that.
We try.
We can try. Can each take a bite? and
Lady
that'd
in
be
the
about
trim.
it.
Lady in the trim
man.
style.
All 4 of us on a rectangle. I want to start at the cross side. You guys get the point.
Okay,
Crap, I
you
just
two get
realized
the
I could've
crust.
done that.
They get the points.
That's right.
Well, I guess it's not that important. Okay.
Okay,
And
I'm
then
going
I
down.
have
No, we're
3,
kidding.
4, 5, 6, 7 buying
You want
power.
to be at Jim's?
No, if you're going there, that'd be really cool. I could try it.
I like
Go back
Jim's.
to
Do you
this.
like it or no?
Which
Yeah.
one's Jim's?
I'm
Jim's
just
is the one we
usually too
normally
cheap
get
for
that-
Jim's.
The one we've been
Only
getting.
one that's not Hungry Hours or Little Caesars on
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Don't they do at the
I actually
what's
go
it's
to
in
the
town?
Lennon
The
Cafe
restaurant.
fairly often
What's
for
the
pizza.
restaurant
Yeah,
called
their
that's in
pizza
town?
is
Nick's
The one
Iron
that's open.
Horse?
The Iron Horse. I think Iron Horse does one too, but I don't know.
They do
if it's
pizza?
a-
Pizza?
I don't know. Maybe
I've
I'm
never
confusing.
seen pizza there.
Maybe I'm confusing it
Wow.
with a different
If
place.
I've lived here
I
for
might
30
be-
years and Iron Horse does pizza,
I could
how
totally,
would I have missed that?
dude. I could totally be wrong. Let's not lie here.
You might be thinking of the bar, and then they used to open the window for Papa Joe's.
That's true, yeah. 206 used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There used to be a window you can order from Papa Joe's. and
No,
then-
derailed.
Derailed, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, no. Thinking of a totally different, just a
Different
just
city
a different.
altogether?
Yeah, just a different. Yeah.
He's like, no, there's this place where there's tubes in the ball pit.
No,
That's-
no. There's a
Giant
place
rat
in.
walking around.
There's a place in. What's it? That's.
Yeah, dang you, man.
Well, never mind. It's
Okay.
not worth talking about.
Alright.
I'm boring people.
Yeah, but Lennon
from what
Cafe.
I've
You
heard.
know they don't do pizza on Sunday though. I had like my dad come up, my grandma's like, I know this great pizza place. I'll order there and we'll do Christmas pizza or whatever. Lennon Cafe.
Oh, Lennon Cafe. Are they even open?
Yeah, they are open, but only for 4 or 5 hours, and so they don't turn on the ovens. They just do regular.
That's how they get heat in the winter.
Yeah.
That's how we got heat at Mama Lee's.
All right. Let me do one,
My memory core. They're great.
4, 5.
Man, that's like a really
I
crappy
almost did
lineup
last
now.
turn, but then I realized I could do the 2 movement by acquiring, or 4 movement by acquiring.
Yeah,
both.
there's not the option anymore.
Yeah.
They do give you more clank,
Well, and
though,
then-
don't they?
No, they don't.
My ear size like this.
No.
Stand-
If you draft,
Oh,
it's-
those ones.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just 1 buy and 1 movement.
Steve bought the ones that give you plus the
Yeah,
green
so-
ones.
Where the heck do
Yep.
I have to go now to get?
You need to
more-
come to this section here
Or this
or
one?
this section here, either one,
Okay.
and then just place one there,
Or,
and I'm all set.
or you
He's
could,
this is what I don't like this game. Side quests. That's what this game should be called.
Side quests?
I want to
Or you-
get here. I don't
Okay,
want to
so
deal
so let
with
me
this.
so here's the issue.
or you could
In
put
the
down-
original game, there was no you went down and then you came back out the same spot. Okay, there's one entrance and one exit to the main part of it, and there was no restriction on getting down to the thing. So what invariably happened every game, somebody would rush down to the very first one they could do and rush back out, and then everybody else would be trying to chug along. I've never seen that person that rushed down and rush out win, ever. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one, and you were close. It was still close when you did it, but I've never. But that's the only person out of like 8 games that I've played it, and there were people who didn't like the fact that somebody would try and rush it. You know, like do a fast rush. And technically, even if you would have been doing the fast approach in the other game, you wouldn't even quite have been on your. You'd only maybe now gotten it and been on your way out.
I have the option.
You know what I
to
mean?
buy
Because it
it.
usually takes that.
I
Bit.
don't have to buy it.
Right. You know. Yeah. You don't
And
have
I
to.
don't get anything passing through it.
Right.
And so then another movement there, that's my 2 movement.
Right. Right. If you just so you're aware, because I want to be clear, if you'd have had a third movement, you could have kept going
Yep.
because you weren't moving up and down the actual drive.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You
So
can teleport. You can move back here though now because you don't have movement if you want.
Well, you can't do it right this second though. You have to be able to do. It's
you have to have a movement to turn it on.
like to at least start the process. You have to have at least a movement. I believe is the way it worked out. You have to move. You have to have one to
Is
go,
that
but
how
you
it
go
works
as
at the
far as
bank?
down the line.
Put your check in. And
Let me double
sucks
check.
it up.
I'm double checking. I'm
Well,
double
I
checking.
cheated in the beginning of the game.
Versus a series of space. If you are in a hyperlift space, you may move along it. Not this it's not super actually thing like that. So
So the only problem with me going back here is I don't have a key. I can go that way.
Right, yeah.
okay, no, you do not need boots to. So you don't need to have any boots to actually use the hyperlift left. Okay,
You just get
so
dizzy.
you actually could move up and down that line if
Yeah.
you wanted to. Yes.
So I'd have to go through a restricted, and then move there and fight him.
It would take you a couple turns.
Yeah.
Joe's already up in the last section.
No, that's Matt.
Matt is.
Joe's right above where he
So
just left.
otherwise, I can just go right here, there, there.
Sure.
I like the path I'm on. Okay, so I've got 2 battle. Need 1 space dollar, please. Space dollar.
Can I ask you a question you probably answer?
Space Dower.
What's it?
Space
No,
Dower.
yeah,
That's
you're
what
all-
Where's the
it
game,
said.
actually
Space
end?
Dower.
4, 6.
There's a couple.
7.
If this deck ever runs out, we all get knocked out and the game ends. But that's very unlikely. Otherwise, once somebody gets back and they pull off, you know, they go out, then like in the other game,
There's like a timer.
there's
He
more
starts
and more
attacking, like,
more
every turn or
attacking
something
happens
like
and
that,
whatever
yeah.
else. And the game either ends when
Perfect.
everybody's out, like if all the escape pods are
Okay.
gone, then
Is
it's
that bad?
done,
I don't
or
know. I guess.
Well,
He's bought no. I mean, I don't know
How
if
many
it's
phasers do you guys have?
1 or 2. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this.
I have
Do you-
like 4 or 5.
You no longer take
So-
damage after you escape, right?
Right. You
Okay.
never. Yeah. You
That
never.
only has 2.
All right, you done?
Uh-huh.
I will draw a card.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, great. I will draw another card. Come on! I have 2 movement,
You gotta pick one more card, Ed.
so I'll go
Yeah.
1.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I
I
don't
thought
have to
there was
stop
one
here to
missing.
do this,
from the
right?
thing, yeah. What? What?
I don't have to stop here to do this?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Put that there so I get 4 space bucks.
But then you have one more
And I
orange.
got another movement.
And you get this too,
Oh, yeah, thank
and
you.
that goes up right away.
And I have the 2 fight, so I can fight them.
Okay.
And now I will stop there because I only have 2 movement. And I have 2, 4, 6, 5.
What is that thing right there?
That's the bad guy.
I see. You're trying to get in to fight him.
That's right. We're trying to steal these things from his ship and escape before he gets us.
It's
That's
wrong
what
to
we're trying
steal, though, isn't it?
Oh, I
So,
see.
Jonah, who really is the bad guy here?
Yeah, we
I-
flew into this guy's nice ship. We're stealing all of his stuff.
I see
Oh, I
what
need to reveal what this is, don't I? I'm
I
sorry.
see what you meant.
Guess that heals me for
So
one.
if
Yeah.
he gets out, he's gonna walk on all the squares, and you pick.
He's gonna get real angry with us.
If you don't hurry up and grab all this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's wrong to steal, so is he a good guy or a bad guy, really?
Bye.
Maybe just misunderstood.
Yeah, maybe he's a police officer and we're in his house. Would we be bad guys then if he was a police officer?
He's the bad guy.
What if we were in Joey's house? Stealing all of his furniture and stuff.
No.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, we're never gonna do that. But we'll just steal all of the gold and stuff what's on here.
The gold and stuff on here. Okay.
That kind of looks like Nintendo, doesn't it?
There. I'm gonna get 1 for defeating the dude. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And what is that? End of those things. Skulls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That means you died.
Your guy dies.
Skulls.
Yep, if you get to the skull.
So you don't want to go all the way to
Right.
skulls?
Yep.
Home intruder.
I think you could probably help Travis play this game. You're getting it.
Yeah.
Let's.
Alright, Steve, I have one more
I
question.
think like every one of your reviews should
Hold
have
on, hold on,
Michael
hold on,
Bottle,
hold on,
so
hold on.
just go play Dominion.
Just go play the mini. It's way easier.
Oh, we have
Okay. Yeah, that's
2
fine.
minion games.
Whatever.
Oh, also,
And it's
there's
one of the few
doggy
questions
do.
left I can
He
ask.
squishes
Do you have to stop to pick up
he
one of these?
out
You have to what?
things.
Do you have to stop to pick
Yeah.
it up? I don't believe so. I think you can pick it up on the fly.
Run
I will
through.
double check.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're
Oh,
walking
man, the race is
through, I
on.
believe
Because
it
I
is.
asked about the other two, so I'm just asking about this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
race is on.
Yes.
If you escape, do you keep taking turns to buy stuff and things like that?
No. You stop buying or anything else, but on your turn, you automatically do a bag draw based on where you're at on the board.
Okay.
So you're
That's right,
hastening
okay.
the potential death of other people
So
before
I
they can
see.
get out to the safety
So if
area.
he gets all the way to those 2 purples and with 3, he'll get out.
It has 2 purples with 3, but what else? What's another way to express that?
There's
That's it. No, you can walk through it.
5.
You don't stop when you do it.
So like Crystal 3, draw a
And
card
those
for each
are
power
four,
crystal we
that's
have.
four.
I have 2, 1.
3,
Him?
2. Could you like that earring for me? Asking that, not you.
2. Like Terminator, draw a card.
Picture is this.
Yeah, looks like it was.
Is there no like way to clear the board?
Oh,
Yeah, buy it or kill him.
Right.
You can have negative clank, right?
So Dad,
No, if you run out of cubes that like they've gone
No, I
all
mean,
into
like,
here or whatever
If you
else,
defeat
then
those guys, you know,
yeah,
you
I couldn't
can't.
like
Yeah.
defeat those guys
Yeah.
and have good credit.
Dad, where if the interest is to get out is right there, so you get out from right there.
Yep.
I guess. I'm gonna
One
learn how
movement,
this
don't have to
game.
stop at security
right?
checkpoints.
I already know this game. I think I can help him with it,
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
but not today.
You have to wait.
We don't play games twice though.
Right, yeah.
Can I
One.
put those out?
No, those are bad. I don't want those out.
Oh, 1, 2, sorry.
Oh,
3.
so you mean you can't have these out? You only
Wait.
have the
You can
golden
only pick up
ones?
one, can't you?
he only has one.
He just. Oh, okay. I thought the other one was an artifact. That's your portal thing or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
4. I have the
You're
2
almost
fights to
there to
buy.
that.
You don't have movement though. You still have to have a movement.
I have 4.
defense.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where did you start at?
Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4. He has gets you an extra one at the bottom because he's got that.
And I don't have to stop at security checkpoints.
Okay.
So you get that.
2 health.
Dad, you like that picture?
That's all my
It's
movement.
coming off the house.
I used 2 out of the 3. I can't do anything with 1 fight.
Can you leave this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
So 1,
I
2,
love my
3,
dog.
4, 5, 6, 7, bye.
No, in the bottom.
Oh,
This and this.
I don't understand the bottom though. I can read it, but it doesn't make sense
You're
to
trying
me.
to be a good person because dogs think you're good.
Okay, I'm good,
Try,
Travis.
Travis.
Alright, I'm ready. I've been thinking about this all day.
All day.
Okay. Boom.
And I
1
love you.
What do you think?
battle, 2,
Okay.
When are we going to get to
and
the
then
thing?
I've got buy of
I don't know.
2, 4,
Like,
6, 7.
Long time.
Memory core. Oh, uh-oh, here we go.
What?
2 boldly goes.
2 boldly goes.
All right.
Yeah.
All set.
See how fast my turns are, guys? This is
Draw
the
a
way
card.
It needs to be.
Pick another one.
Nope, I don't get another one.
Aw, man.
So I have
Sucks.
2 movement. So I'll go here
Aw,
and here.
aw, aw.
And I got 2 swords I can use.
No.
And
Wait, where's
I
2
have 1, 2, 3
swords?
by.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
see
take the last boldly go to stop
I don't-
Travis from getting out of control.
Shh.
You need
Let
to
him
be
do
quiet,
it.
please.
Sword.
Or you're gonna go back upstairs.
I don't know what
I'm all
the
done.
sword thing is.
It's right here
Okay.
on this thing. All right, we good?
Yep.
Oh, I see. So 2 swords right there.
You got it.
All right, where am I at?
Yeah, it's your bedtime.
Stop. picture for Mom.
That's fine.
I want to.
Nope, I'll turn that baseball thing off.
If I do that, that does that. If I do that, that does that.
Dad, I want a picture
You should have been up there doing it then. So you can make one in the morning.
Or after church.
Good job, Travis.
Let's see. 3, 6.
Is that not supposed to touch your head? Is that an inappropriate place to touch you?
Probably one of the more appropriate.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'll go 1, 2, 3 because I have 3 movements. I'll. Oh no, that is not what I'm going to do. Hold on a second. 2, 3. I was there, right?
Yes.
I'm going to fight the guy for 1.
So I have to do this and then buy.
You automatically get one of
automatically
these.
earn that. And then
Yep.
I can get going. Okay.
Then you can start to go into the other area and you can do what you need to do. So I will move there for 1. Yeah. Yep, I'll go there. I will spend 7. 4, 5, 6, 7.
So has that ever happened before where there's so little flank? Like, this is slowing up the whole board.
That's just people choosing not to do it. It doesn't. That doesn't. I mean, it's going to happen. It's not necessarily that big of a deal about it, but it's a matter of it'll happen eventually. And I'm going to buy that, the teleporter. So that's. I have 2 more movement left. So I will go. So there is my final 2. I have 2, 4, 6, 7, and I will take. I'll take one of those.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So, well, all that movement's not going to help me a ton.
He should be up 1 more. Because you took that artifact. He should have gone up 1 when you took the artifact. I'll buy 8 phaser. Okay. Travis, your turn.
Okay. Skip Joe. Oh, what's this one?
And Matt went last either way, so either
Okay.
skip both of us, both me and Joe. No
Go
one I-
here. Place my cube.
Okay.
Get my space book. Okay. I still have a movement left.
So you place both?
Yeah.
Yes, I placed
So
my
it goes up
and you
again.
get that, and that goes up another. Yep.
And now I can go back here. Oops, sorry, Steve. Didn't
Take
mean
that,
to
Steve.
counter. And that's all my movement. I've got some combat. Bam.
Okay.
And I've got a buying power of 6.
Okay.
I mean, are these really bad, or I mean?
Not really. I mean, I mean, how many cards do you have to go through? So, and they are worth a victory point at the end as well. So, because the green, You know, so they aren't awful. They're just
2, and I still have 4 left. I'll buy 2 phasers, I guess.
okay.
Oh wait, and then you may place any cards you acquire this card on the top of your deck instead of the discard pile.
Right. So it's your choice if you want to do that.
Yeah, I want to.
You don't want to do the phasers even?
No, because I want to.
Okay.
I mean, move to there, get that. So,
Okay. So that's one. And one more.
Yeah, good guy.
Exo Stomper. Oh, it's Ridley. She's coming to load your truck, Alien Queen. She's coming to load your truck.
Yeah, some of the flavor text on the bottom's pretty funny.
I haven't even really been looking at them, but I should. I know I should
Yeah, I
be.
noticed that too.
Yeah.
Like even like the simple, like the ones you start with have different passwords and stuff.
Yeah. There's a bunch of cool little things. And I love that it's not just any single space thing. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, like it's all the different space things. You know, like that guy's Haba the Yurt.
Is he wearing a bikini?
I don't know. I can't see.
Yeah, he's wearing the slave bikini.
Oh wow, that's disturbing. Oh, you just brought him out, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. So we actually have to do this. So we're gonna do this. Travis,
Draw 3.
no, draw your other card first.
Another card.
You should have 5 cards instead of 4. Now you're drawing 3. Yep, one at a time. Well, it doesn't have to be one at a time. Just don't draw extras is what it comes down to.
Take that, Joe.
Yeah, and Matt.
And Joe.
And mainly Matt. Because Matt has a number.
And Deathy has a name.
Yes.
And Clank
And Deathy was his name, O-B-I. Deathy, O-D-I. Things don't die. Stuff and whatever.
Great song, Steve.
You know, I never claimed to be a song master. I never even claimed to be a song, Matt. I never even claimed to be a song. I just succeeded.
I think it should be a song.
I'm songing. I'm songing myself to Songalopolis. Now that you actually got most of the rules down, do you feel like it's a little bit more straight? It really isn't that hard once you kind of
No,
got you know. You just have to.
A lot of iconology. You got to know what the symbols
Right,
mean.
but as soon as you get it, it's like, oh, that means this. That means that, you know, like it is relatively.
A little cheat sheet would be nice that says.
Technically, this would be out on the board, but there's just not enough space to kind of show off a bunch of stuff or that it would be out. I mean, I wouldn't normally care.
I
There's just not
I
much
have this
space.
crystal. I still don't remember what I get for it or what it does for me.
It powers cards. If any cards power it.
Oh, okay.
And normally, otherwise, it doesn't do anything, except you have that bonus
Worth 3
thing.
points.
So, but that and the card itself is worth it because it's considered one. So you actually have 6 victory points right now because of those 2 cards. Or because
Like, how
you have
many
that thing in
points
the
do
other.
you typically have to win?
10
is winning.
80. Well, this is worth 10 or 25 or 20. He's got the one that's worth 30.
Oh, I was saying.
So,
they did it just going with
Yeah.
5.
So yeah. So I mean, it's not that the 5
And
isn't
then some of the cards
value.
are worth
Yeah.
value as well.
I would say, like, generally speaking, I don't think I've played any game where where the winning total wasn't at least like 60. Okay. But I've seen winning totals in the 90s for sure. You know. Again, let's just put it this way: if you'd have been able to do anywhere near as many of this card, these would be worth 5 apiece, right? That's part of the reason why there's a point where it's like stops being useful to have a bunch of other stuff because yeah, they're great for running and moving and buying, but that's not necessarily getting you victory points or getting you to where you need to be. You know, like may or may not be.
Matt win?
Not
Yes.
yet. It is your turn actually.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Can you
we
give
just
me
got
your
back
points?
My points?
Yeah.
Sure.
You took the damage though, which is ideal.
What? How'd I do that?
I revealed
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Erraticus.
I had to guess.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Teal Dragon.
Teal Dragon, yes.
Usually only 40.
Yeah, no. You can just be quiet. You just doesn't want to sleep. So level 1, 2. Now. I get 2 more space spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exostopper. You may trash a card from the adventure row. Oh.
Which is one of those up there.
Yeah.
To get something new.
Let's do this. Alright, I'm done.
Okay, so. Okay, I'm going to draw a card with my Android assistant.
Yeah.
Oh, it still messed me up. So I have to put a clank in.
I don't know that song yet.
What song?
I don't know whatever you're tapping.
I don't know, but I think I'm just making it up in my head.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, that sucks. Alright, I'll go there.
Two people watching. Josh, are you there?
Josh, type 1111 if you're watching.
Type -11111111.
And I will take that.
And yep. Oh, you see who that is, don't you?
Oh.
What's the picture look like?
Fifth Element?
You know the Chris Tucker. Remember the Chris Tucker guy who's like the. You know, he goes through,
Raj or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and he's all like, he's all a big announcer and all that type of thing. That's him. Of course, I got this at this point. How fortunate for me. Complete garbage. Complete garbage.
1, 2, movement, 1 attack. 1, 2 movement. 2 credits.
That's not awful, actually.
Credits aren't worth anything, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. They're just worth victory points. Straight up. I think it's a 1-for-1.
Every
1,
14
2,
credits
3,
is worth
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Credits are worth 1-for-1. 1 victory point per credit.
Can you potentially fight Goblin more than once?
As many times as you want. The idea of it is if you think of like any of those, like any movies where there's just like a little crappy robot that's always running around, that is supposed to represent that there are an unlimited number of those little crappy robots running around. In the base game, because it's a dungeon, it's a goblin. So it's like, how many goblins are there actually down here in these caves? Hundreds, you know, potentially. You're just killing them one at a time, you know, like that kind of a thing.
Alright, I'm good.
All set? You're up.
Okay. Add 2 to the old Clank Bank. And I have 1 movement. So, boop, I get this, right?
If you want to choose to get it, you don't have to, but you can only pick up one.
So, why wouldn't I immediately, assuming I had the movement, start heading back?
You should. At this point, there's no reason you wouldn't. The thing about it is you took the lowest one of those. So because you took the lowest one of those, it's going to be that plus whatever your points are determines who wins at the end. So at this point, you know Matt's got 25 more points in just artifact power than you do. So at this point, it becomes getting out, do you have enough? Otherwise, you need to do whatever else or get him killed. One of those two things. You either need to, like, as you're pushing back, you need to be getting these things to be going off as much as possible and doing the stuff that they're doing, like, whenever they can, so that way you don't have to deal with them.
Okay.
I think that's where one. don't think it was supposed to go here. I think it was supposed to be there. Because I'm pretty sure I couldn't get to, like, the way, like, if I wanted to backtrack the way I was going to go, I couldn't have gotten to them both. But whatever. So, anyways, so what you going to do?
I already am.
Oh, you're done.
I bought
Okay.
a phaser.
Can I see your
Oh,
cheat sheet?
I didn't realize you
Phaser.
didn't
Draw
go
two
and
cards.
move into whatever else.
Thank you.
Woo. Draw a card.
Do I have to have a key going backwards too?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, but you keep the key. The key stays with you once you
But
want it.
I didn't buy a key.
Yeah.
So there's no market up by me.
No.
So I
There
gotta
were-
walk back. Right?
What's that?
So I have to walk back.
At least to that next one, yeah.
Yeah, at least to the next one. From there you could go, though. Oh, you picked up a thing, too, didn't you? I forgot that. Oh, oh, no. Never mind.
I got two in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Calm down, Joe.
Bank. To the Clank Bank.
Pretty sure that's the official term.
1, 2, 3, 4 movement. I have 3 fight.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think I'll go the long way, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, that's worth 3 victory points at the end,
That
but
goes
he
up.
goes up, which means this goes into there.
So I use 2 of my fight, right? On those things.
Yes, it looks like it.
Or I would have had to use 2 of my fight.
No, 1 of your fight. Where'd you go? You were on the 15, weren't you?
No, I was on this space.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then yeah, two.
Then, yes, then, Joe, 2 you've used. You still have that 2 extra for the other, though.
I know, I was thinking about taking a damage for one of them. Instead. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Take a damage for one of them. And then I'll heal the damage.
You taking a damage for 1?
Yeah, then
And
I'm
then
healing
you
it.
heal
Yep.
Oh, you can take a damage to walk through those?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so then, yeah.
And I'll use this, because I have 4 attack then
For
to kill
each
this
one
guy.
that's on the thing, you take 1 that you can't pay for. Like, so if it was a double one like this, it'd be 2 damage
Yeah,
to go
no,
across
that's
that.
perfect.
But you could go through bunches of them and take a bunch of damage.
Is money worth anything at the end of the game?
Yes, 1 for 1.
No. The 6 you have is worth 14 victory
All
points.
players get heart. What does that mean? Is it heal or damage?
Yeah, they heal 1 damage.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Move the boss marker 1 space up the racetrack, and flip over Goblin. Oh, he's okay. I thought he was just going to be out of the game. Okay.
Well, now he's a ratty bot.
Yep.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, go ahead. Ah, another entertainer.
Let's see you shuffle very well.
He's entertaining. Are you not tired? Huh. Wish I had him right now. Okay, so
Clank, bank, clank, bank.
I will stumble.
So when I use one of these, I can go to any
And
other one of
I'll
them
play a
for
Battle School Genius. And I'll play another Battle School
Except if
Genius.
it's helpful to you.
And then I just have to stop though, right? Like I
Yeah,
get
you're
And
just
those. So. Do that. Which lets me take 2 points back out. And then I have 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 buying power. 8, I said?
Yep.
Dang it. I'll take another one of those. Ooh, security guard.
He's back.
You don't have to stop at security checkpoints this turn.
No,
If you,
spend
Oh,
the
that's
power
different.
crystal.
yeah, you spend a power
It's a
crit.
security checkpoint.
It's,
The
it's-
red ones.
yeah. I don't know if you actually have to spend it or if you just have to have one. To be honest, either one's possible.
Ah. You don't have to stop the store, right? You can just move through it.
Right.
And you get to buy.
Is it your turn, Matt?
Yes,
If you move through it, you have to stop at it to
You,
buy.
you stop to buy, but you can keep going afterwards. So the
Right,
only
'cause
thing
you
that
could use
stops.
one movement,
Yeah, yeah,
stop
yeah,
there.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
okay. That
yeah.
makes sense. And then use more movement after.
Right. Did you already order stuff? Or were you
No, I
ordering?
didn't. No, I just asked the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just wondered. I was thinking, oh, we should. Like, I wonder if it's already coming.
I'll use this. Heal for 2. I'll take this guy. Just 2 money. 2 money.
I'm gonna totally cut sugar from my diet 5 minutes later.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One of the ladies I work with said she was, I want to eat healthy, no more sugar, everything like that. And then I brought in donuts Friday. She's like, I guess I'll just have one.
I'll just take 11.
No, she didn't do that.
It's a guy, Denise made, when I worked at Field Services, made Andy Smith cookies, and I took them in, and I walked into the break room, and they were almost all gone, and this guy, Brett, was sitting there. And he was
Like crying?
eating one. And he was sitting there, he goes, and I said, what do you think? And I said,
Okay.
he goes, I don't really like mint cookies. As he was eating one, I said, well, how many have you eaten? 7. It's like...
Yeah. 4.
Just see what Steve does. I'll consult it real quick.
No, later I'll go back in and then you redraw.
Nope.
That's it?
That's it. 4.
4.
Travis tricked you into thinking you needed 5.
That's what you call an old clink trick.
Old, yep. He's
What a
the old-
clanker.
The old clank bank swap.
Little clank and spank.
So it's Travis' turn?
Right.
Alright.
Yay.
Huzzah!
Time for the good
Not
guys.
really.
Okay. 1. Battle. Win. 2. Okay. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to spend.
Don't forget about your +1 clank.
Oh, yep, I got it.
Squawkbot!
Pull that back up. I didn't see this guy.
It just came out after Whiskers.
Okay, I have a crystal, so I can use it. Choose heart or the boss attacks.
Yes, you could do either one of those things.
But I get -2 clank.
Right. Well, that's both good. Both of those are good. It's
Oh, so wait, how much do I have again? I've got 6.
yes. So that'd be 4 of it.
Oh.
You can get that then.
Your choice. One or the
I
other.
really want to make the boss go off all the time. Well, I got a big deck. It's not going to happen. I'll just do this one.
Do you have to spend a crystal to do it, or just...
Is it spending the crystal? Yeah, I guess I need to know. Is it spending the crystal or using
Oh,
the
actually, it's
crystal?
probably
Because
right
I
on the back,
kind of
isn't
want to
it?
keep my crystal.
No, it's not there.
This one seems like you would have to spend it to do that to gain 10 money. You might have to
You
spend.
have to trash a memory core as well
Oh,
to get 10 money.
yeah. It's tough to know.
Well, that would be worth more. That's worth 5 more because 10 money is worth 5 more victory points than that is on its own. But it's more than you don't necessarily do, maybe. So
What is this? Is it just 10 victory points, nothing else?
it's
Regardless,
contraband.
I'm gonna buy this.
So some cards work off of contraband like they do off the crystal.
Power boots! 2 movement. 2, 4, 7.
Where were you?
Right there. That's right there.
Oh, and you have to stop, right?
Yeah.
Ghost of Jonah. He's practicing for Halloween.
Someone want to order from Jim's? Pizza?
Yeah, credits. Blah, 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 blah.
Just don't tell your address on air, please. The address on air. Like we did last time.
I don't even know your address, Joe.
Where are you? I'm at Joe's house.
What's it? Yeah. Joe's. Don't you know?
I always
It's a
wondered-
small town.
I always wonder that, like, if you get, like, your friend's house, like, I don't know most of my friends' addresses. If you get pulled over with this, like, where you come from? Oh, I'm coming from my friend's house. What's his address? That's a good question.
Well, he lives kind of that way.
That way?
The heck is their menu?
They have a web presence?
View our menu. It's a little slice of heaven in every pizza pie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it says, bro.
I think it's just that you have to have it. But what does it say on there? You may trash your memory core in your play area or discard pile to get. Yeah, I think you just have to have one in order to do that.
Okay.
So as long as you have at least one, you're able to activate that essentially. And is it my turn? It's my turn, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Well, I had gone, and then Joe had.
Yeah. No, that's what I thought it was. Okay.
How many pizzas do we need? How big?
Well, if we get one of the really big, the extra large or whatever, that's probably enough. If we get that in some breadsticks or something like that.
They're breadsticks.
Yeah, those guys.
Say that?
On the other side of that, though, no.
Ooh, cheesy with bacon.
$8. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Do they do a cheese bread with sauce and bacon?
Not for you.
Wouldn't that just be a bacon?
You can get garlic bread. You can get 2 pieces for $1.25.
All right. Okay. I'm going to play this first, and I will give up this token so that I can use its special power, so I get 3 movement total. So I'll move out here and take that. This is the first thing I do. Oh, of course.
Oh, gross. Why would their, like, normal pizza come with anchovies? Their specialty one.
2,
I guess if I had anchovies, to be completely honest.
3.
They're not bad either, but I remember when I went to pizza place, they always looked really salty.
Yeah.
They're very salty. They're like super salty.
And I always avoid them because I don't really care for salt flavored stuff.
This goes up one more.
What's that? Anchovies.
Oh,
There.
yeah.
Joe can't have them anyways. He's allergic to mushrooms. Everyone knows the anchovy feasts on the mushroom.
Anchovies feast on mushroom. The blood of the mushroom.
I don't know your address, Joe.
Yeah, no one can order. We don't know where we're at.
Just ask Google.
You can't. Ask Google right here. Well, first, delivery or pickup?
Delivery.
Okay.
Did you already know?
Find out where we live.
I tell you, once big AI and big
DtV
data
headquarters.
gets put together, they'll be able to scour all of this.
Oh yeah.
Find a way to
Well,
sell
I
ads.
guess I will go ahead and I will attack that to get 3.
Steve's decision was we need one of their extra biggest pizzas with bread.
Just one, not 2.
Well, that's why we're doing. Don't they have like a super size there?
You know,
Yeah.
well, oftentimes when we end up getting the extra large, we only just finish like most of one pizza. You know what I mean? Like overall we had the rest. Now I don't care. I didn't have a problem getting more than that. I just figured, you know,
'cause
and
I'm
we
not
don't have
contributing-
Josh here either. So
I'm not contributing any money to this, and Steve's paying my way.
So-
I say 4 smalls.
4 small.
14
Someone
smalls.
look at
And
their
we buy bread
menu.
for the next customer.
We get like an extra large or 2 larges maybe.
We did
instead
read
of an extra large.
there on their menu. It says each
The
slice.
2
is
topping
1
extra
cent.
large is $15.25.
What's that?
The 2 topping extra large is $15.25.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they cut the slice the same size every time, or do they do
Yeah, they're pretty much the same size.
8 slices per pizza?
Oh
matter what size you get?
no. The extra large has like 16 slices or something like that, or 14 or something.
We have, what, 5 people, right?
4.
Emily doesn't want pizza?
No, she's eating dinner.
Oh, okay.
So,
Where'd she go? Did she just bring us back something?
Olive Garden.
Okay, I'm gonna trash.
get order
I'm gonna
extra bread
trash the
before she
power
leaves.
converter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trash the power converter,
Okay.
so that'll go out. And then 3, 4, 5, 6.
Or you can get an extra large super
7.
for $19.50.
Doesn't it have anchovies and mushrooms.
I read it again. It does have mushrooms. I'm sure you could ask for them to be off.
Then you never said they mess it up, and then Joe's gonna mess around.
Sucks to be Joe. I don't know.
4.
Let's get a second pizza that's not the supreme.
So I think we're at 2.
Or you can do 2 larges, I guess.
Yeah.
2 a large 2-topping would be $13.25, so it'd be 27 plus delivery, so probably $30.
Think you need 2 larges for 4 people?
I'm just giving you options, bro.
I think probably, yeah. Close to it.
Done,
You got
Steve?
leftovers then.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want on your 2 larges?
Extra mushrooms.
Okay, that's fine.
On both. Specifically on both. Otherwise,
The crust stuffed with mushrooms.
mushroom stuffed crust.
And I want to make sure all the employees have handled mushrooms before they prepare eating them.
Did we find out if these mean you have to spend them, or is it just you just have to have it?
Just have to have it.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I can get from
Don,
everything I can see, you have to have it in order to have it.
It's like Han Solo.
Yeah. Don Uno. Hey, 'cause he's all by himself.
All by myself. I wanna be.
1, 2, 3 movement.
So what's that mean?
That means you can't get to here, so you have to stop here and then get off and move
Oh,
your
what
way through.
closed it?
Once we pass this,
Can I buy more than one of these at a time?
as long as you have the 7 to buy each
Okay.
one, yeah.
What
But you
are the
can't
red
buy
cubes?
2 of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay.
Does
Thank you.
everyone take a damage if one of those is drawn? A red cube?
Right, and then it goes back to here, and then it'll go back in instead of otherwise.
Okay, I like that. Daddy like it.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more oomph to what could happen. You know what I mean?
1, 2, 3. 4 fight. Defeat +4 clank. Steal an item. Steal an item from the market that you don't already have. +4 clank. That's not great.
Clank's relative, man.
This is relative, yeah. I agree.
Like relative.
Pizza purchased the game.
Nice.
Yeah, how many space bucks do we need to...
Yeah. How many space bucks do I need to buy one
Wait,
space pizza?
We didn't solve the pizza problem.
No, we didn't solve the pizza problem. We just moved on to the next person's turn. Forgot about it.
You're gonna have to decide.
How many
This is-
items was on each pizza?
This is a small town
Matt
in
was
Michigan.
looking at
Two.
two topping. Yeah.
All right.
So teleport to an adjacent space, literally just move to the next space.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
You don't
Okay.
have to move the cost.
Right. And teleporting would mean you you know where you have to stop in a space like this. You
Yeah.
could then teleport to the next space. Also, anything that you cross is considered not there, so you don't have to fight something if it's there, and you can actually go through a lock.
Question. The security zones, is it when you move into... What if I teleport there? Can I then move out?
No,
Okay.
no.
So it's just when you enter that period.
When you get to that space, that's considered like it stops boot movement out
Okay.
of that space.
Okay.
Is the way it is.
So
Your
regardless
next
if I
turn, unless you
teleport into
started
it.
your turn in it. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Paul,
It-
Paul, what 2 toppings would you choose?
yeah.
So we move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Bacon,
I'm gonna buy
pineapple.
this. Is that the
It's
right
like
one? Yeah.
gonna take Paul 3 minutes.
So it's over
to see
here.
this.
Well, it's like 15-second delay or something like that.
I'm gonna spend
Way he's gonna count it.
7. Oops.
It's not 3 minutes.
7.
It was at
5
least
this.
4 minutes.
Okay.
And then I have to stop movement. I still have 3 attack. Or no, I teleported, so I still have 4 attack.
Right.
Sorry, thinking.
No, that's not allowed.
Yeah, that's...
No dogs allowed.
You guys better pull up the menu to Little Caesars because these small town pizza places don't stay open.
Can't go wrong with meat.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like bacon
That's
and
what she said.
something.
Oh!
Nice guy.
Beat me to it.
I was gonna say like
so
basic
feet
bacon and
plus 4 clank.
sausage or
Yep. And then steal an item for the market.
That you don't.
Is this instant?
What is that?
That healing thing?
it's when you buy this, immediately heal 2 damage.
Okay.
Yarp.
I'll steal a key.
Oh, that's the market.
Yep.
Oh, not this.
Nope, that's the adventure route.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Travis, we need to refill this. Yes. Ooh,
One.
Renegade Hacker. You may trash a program in your play area or a discard pile.
Interesting.
And light thing.
Light scooter.
A light scooter.
Okay.
Nope.
So, question.
Yeah, we're past questions.
This one offers me the ability to teleport to an adjacent space.
Yes.
Theoretically, if I was here, could I teleport to there?
No, that's not an adjacent space. Adjacent spaces would be connected by blue lines, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that's the way it's
So
considered.
if you were
in the
here,
thing,
you could
yeah.
teleport to here.
Yeah.
Okay, that.
I'm going to double check because there's a whole section on just teleporting, but I'll double check while you're thinking. You can't teleport from one hyperloop space to another. They aren't considered to be adjacent. It's the adjacency that's not so much. It's not that it's direct connection or not. It's that it's adjacent.
So we decided on two larges.
Yeah, what are the toppings here?
1, 2,
Kill them.
battle.
Actually,
I think bacon and sausage on one, and then you guys decide on the other.
Okay. And how much is a
Everything's 7 there.
keys 5?
7.
What?
It's 5 victory points.
5 victory points.
Oh.
7 is the money. 7's up at the corner. 7's the money.
Just enough. Take me
It's
a
actually
lot.
only 50 cents more per topping, too, if you want more than 2.
Yeah.
So that's not a horrible price per topping.
No.
Just Hungry Howie's is like $1 or something.
Hey, and now
Yeah.
I've got some spinning. We've got 3.
Was that all your movement, or did you have more?
But the base pizza
No,
cost is
by right,
also
too.
more.
5,
And they cook
6,
taste
7,
better.
8.
This is true.
Why is this song stuck in all of our heads?
Because it was earlier. Somebody started it, and then it's done from there. That's that type of a song.
How much did you have? 8? Oh, no. Alright. Alright. Replace that bad boy. Ooh. It's 2 cards. Or Clank. Alright. I'm gonna start by drawing a
G-Do.
card.
G-Do, yeah, instead of Jedi. G-Do laser sword.
So I'll go with 2 movement. Ooh. Alright, so I'm going to spend these. I should probably save that just in case, huh? I'll save that, never mind. I'll just let that go to waste. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll buy this. And when I acquire, I can teleport to another space. Does that mean I get one of these?
Mm-hmm.
Hex.
Oh.
Man, those security checkpoints really slow you down, don't they?
It does. But the other game had ice caves that were the same type of thing. Like every time you entered an ice cave, you
Yeah.
kind of get stuck until you did anything. All right, my
Did you
turn.
get your pizza situation sorted out?
I like I
Do we
said,
want two
I
toppings?
said bacon and sausage, and
Okay,
nobody
bacon
else is
sausage,
talking.
then ham pepperoni.
It's good by me.
Joe wanted pineapple.
Does he want pineapple?
You want pineapple too?
I'll do.
I'm not that hungry,
I like-
so I'll probably get one
I like
pizza.
pineapple as well.
Ham
So
and pineapple.
I just
Not
want
ham
one.
and pineapple. I don't
What?
really like ham on pizza, especially not ham and pineapple.
It's a Hawaiian pizza. That's
Pep-
like the normal.
that's the wrong
pepperoni and
way to do
pineapple.
That's the wrong way to do. I like bacon and pineapple.
Oh, bacon
That's
and
the right way
pineapple's
to do
not bad.
ham.
The Hungry Howie's.
right way
They
is
do it
ham,
with bacon. Yeah.
Bacon pineapple.
Yeah, I
no,
agree.
it's bacon onion pineapple.
I would do ham, bacon, onion, pineapple.
Did you ever try the jalapeno pineapple?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, jalapenos.
We can do that.
If you'll eat it, yeah, I'm good with that.
Alright.
It's one sausage bacon and one
Clank.
jalapeno pineapple.
Do that.
Yeah.
And get Clank out.
Are we getting bread or no? So we're getting 2 pizzas?
Yeah, we should get bread. Well, no. We don't. No, if we're getting 2 pizzas, then no, we don't need to have the card. I'm fine without that. That's.
They actually don't list jalapeno, but I can't imagine they don't have jalapeno.
What's your backup item? Bacon.
They're pepper rings, but I don't know if that would.
No.
I don't know. That would be weird. I
Pepper
think.
rings are tangy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Tangy.
Sweet.
Oh wait! Before you go, we're supposed to put one out. I acquired a card, so bought a card.
Oh snap,
Oh
son!
dang!
Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
5.
5.
Yeah, you know better, Joe.
No better than what?
Than the draw mine.
That's amazing.
Alright, so now it's my turn. Okay.
So Steve's gonna place the order right because he has the credit card. I can just tell him my address.
That's fine.
Just write it down.
That's fine.
Is credit card or your address?
Yes.
They're not gonna see it over the phone though, Joe.
He has to tell them the numbers.
I know, but if you
Clank.
write, how are they gonna see it at the pizza place when you write it down over the phone?
Steve might not want me knowing his PIN. And his
I was
social
joking.
security
I was
number.
thinking you were gonna write it down for the pizza place.
Yes, I'm gonna write it down for the
Yeah,
pizza.
send them a text actually. Pizza address. Thanks.
Quick, build a website.
You can do
with all
that
the
with some
information.
stuff, right? You can order with emojis.
Oh, hold on. Draw one more.
What?
Because that card is a danger thing on it, so you draw one more cube whenever your cube is drawn.
My hands. Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
You hoping you would die? Jeez, Travis.
There's something I'll make it out of the shift.
You need some. You
Why?
need a hug, man?
Yeah.
It's alright.
Why? Just because he gets out doesn't mean that you don't get to keep going. We go until actually everything's done.
How do you know when it's done?
Until one or two things happens.
I'm
Either
gonna check
everybody's
the
dead. If everybody's dead, it ends, or if one person's gotten off and everything, or everybody's gotten off the ship. One of the two.
It would be
Or
weird
like
if
anybody
the
who's
game continued and we were all dead. Like he just took us wherever he was going and dropped our bodies off.
What was the one you guys wanted? The meat one was. You said sausage, bacon.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I will use 2 of my attack to kill the shred bot, which oh no, do I want to do that? Maybe I don't want to do that. Okay. Maybe I'll hold on to that.
Okay. Just text the group.
Just general conversation things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take both of these. I will use this thing to move once.
Yeah.
So we'll go there. I will spend.
This game's gonna be really bad for me. It's gonna take me about
I'll
30
spend
seconds.
2 to kill
You got a
the
bunch of memory
shred bot.
cores?
Yep, I'm gonna spend 2 to do
Access
that,
stones.
and I can trash any card in. Let me see for a second.
Play area.
In my play area or discard pile. Okay, so I will trash a phaser when I do that, and
Just trash that memory card. It's not good.
and that's all I can do.
That's actually a fact. That memory core doesn't help you.
It's hurting you. If anything, Steve.
Hold on. Here, please.
Make a call, Steve.
Space pirate. Double space pirate.
Oh my gosh. I question the shuffling still.
Dude, I riffle shuffled twice. I don't know how they could be like that close together in some of the stuff. And they were in 2 different decks. That was crazy. You know, they weren't even like that thing. Holy cow! That's super bad. Okay. put 3 black cubes back in the bag, put 3 black cubes back in the bag, and 3 more black cubes in the bag. So all these go back, because that's the arrive power
Right,
of those
but the
guys.
next attack, if they come out, then it's 3 additional cubes.
Yeah, aside from whatever's the extra part. So wow, this is crazy town.
That was good.
Okay. Draw a card.
What does that
Holy
mean?
cow. That's drawing extra cubes. That was the extra cube thing we were talking about.
Danger.
Yeah, that it's like an abnormally dangerous thing or whatever. That it's. Actually, I don't know what's that up.
Clank. Plus 1 clank. For each clink you make this turn, 1 monies. So 2 monies.
Oh, that means it's got an arrive. If it's got that exclamation point, it means it has an arrive power. That's supposed to help you notice that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How did you skip through that checkpoint?
Oh, I cheated. That's how. I wasn't intending on it, but yes, that I should have
I
stopped.
thought maybe you had like a card or
No,
something.
no. If I played in a green one, I would have been able to, but I don't have any green ones to play. So that actually, that's not gonna help me a ton. I'll go this way then. Use my side.
Did we put 9 black cubes back in the bag?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll play this guy.
Obviously. Steve? Yes.
Ooh, Phantom Agent -2 crit.
Oh. I need to.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
OSB Studio disconnected, reconnected.
What in the world?
OBS Studio reconnected successfully.
Is it still streaming?
Paul, can you hear us?
We're live again.
This is stop streaming. Okay.
The stream health is red though.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Did we start Emily home?
She is, but she literally just walking around up there.
Oh, I was gonna say if she started Netflix or.
Huh. Now it's green.
Sorry about that.
We're back. Not sure what happened there. It probably created a new. Hopefully it didn't just like lag for a second.
No, because it went to the same stream, and the elapsed time's still up.
My turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use all this movement to go here.
OBS crashed. Oh no. Now we're offline again.
Are we?
Yeah.
Cool. When watching, we even lost a streamer.
Long you guys lagging?
Losing you guys a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Reboot the machine.
No.
No.
What?
This machine. Well, go ahead and take your turn. We'll just keep going.
So
Hey Paul, we're not sure what's going on. Our streaming program just crashed. So, but it came back and
Hopefully you can hear us.
hopefully
It's the problem with doing
YouTube
all our
is not
videos live, I
receiving
suppose.
enough video. Maintain smooth streaming.
What's it say?
Your experience buffering, it says. I don't know. Because OBS says it's good. Back. Okay.
Well, hopefully it maintains. If not, our
Did you
apologies.
spot a guy? Okay.
Let's shapeshifter.
Alright.
I wish we would have shuffled this more.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's bad. Alright, Travis, so you get to draw.
I realized I'd said all that and then completely forgot that I had my wallet out in my car. My wallet in the car.
Oh.
So I had to run out to the car to do it.
There you go.
In this neighborhood.
Draw 8.
8, really?
Yep.
Yep.
Because those space pirates are out there.
2,
Uh-oh.
4,
Uh-oh.
6,
Oh no, why me? 8. Travis.
I'm pretty sure I have the most in there. I don't.
It's got to be close.
Alright, are you... You're all done, right? I have 1 plank. And 3 by.
Paul in Michigan.
Are you done?
I am. Paul's in Michigan. He came to our last event, I believe.
Nope.
Do it again. All right.
Actually,
But this time only 7.
Joe.
2 more.
So everyone gets a damage, right?
Oh, that's what the red means, isn't
Yep.
it?
Yep. So we all have to take one and
Oh,
put it out.
I was supposed to put that clank in first, wasn't I? My orange one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
It's
in there.
fine. That's the. Oh my gosh.
If I win, it's because of that.
Yeah, you
It
get an
is.
asterisk.
It is. You get a double asterisk,
Triple asterisk.
which is proof positive asterisk.
We're actually gonna get 16 asterisks.
Yes.
16? Oh,
That's
Joe Perry.
usually the way it
I'll
works.
get my marker so I can write them on Steve's box.
Yeah.
I'm putting them on your Kingdom Death Monster box. We'll see how this goes.
Fine, it's black.
Yeah, it's
You won't
black
see
on
it.
black.
I'm putting it in white marker. I'm scratching it in.
I'm back in black.
Okay, so I'm gonna go 1 to this spot.
Travis, careful with your phone, please.
Oh,
Be careful.
that's what I'm wanting. And I get to use that as the extra movement. And I will move to there. And fixed movement. And I will heal myself for 1 as well. And then put out 2 more clank. And then I have 3 buying power.
You can buy Space Pirate.
I can. In fact, I shall
Alright, there you go.
buy a space pirate.
Yarr! I'm a Space
No,
Pirate!
no,
Uh-oh, they
okay.
attack again.
Yep,
Put all
1,
the clank
2,
in this
3,
time,
4,
let's not
5.
forget.
An extra orange one, actually.
Okay with that, I guess.
So it's 6 this time.
Yep.
About 20 minutes north of you guys. What the heck? Why didn't you fight Paul?
I don't know. Are you comfortable with streaming? Okay. Does that make up for it? Now I'm in the lead.
No.
Go ahead. You should have been in the double lead.
Yeah, the double lead. Draw a card for each power crystal you have. Hold on. Top 2. Memory core useless. Entertainer. Add a clank. For each clank, you're trying to get a money.
Dang, the resistance leader. It's good. Let's draw a card.
1,
She's
2,
8 victory
3,
points now too, so.
4.
When you acquire, you got to put out 2 clank though.
Yeah. Put it in the clank bank.
The clank and spank.
That's the name of the bar here.
That's right.
4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Buy this.
What is the, like, these, the Doomsday Cannon, does that mean anything?
That's
No.
just different sectors of this
Yeah,
ship.
yeah, like this is engineering. This is the Doomsday Cannon, and this section is the Promenade. If you flipped them over, they would have different names on them.
Was that out here, Travis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just reading the things.
No, it's okay. I was just making sure we had enough cards. I'll spend. I'll kill one of these for my 2. Get 3 monies. One, 2, 3, 4 buy.
Minus 2 planks for the Phantom Agent. Not that it really matters now, I guess, but.
Yeah.
Oh, the Space Pirate!
Well, I'll take that.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, when you play it, yep.
Go
Flip
ahead.
him. Is he the only. That's only in a security checkpoint. Oh, okay. Okay, ball darts. Go, Travis, go.
Okay.
Meow, 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 meow.
Maybe the. I can't.
Maybe the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Don't expect it anytime soon. Probably about a year, 18 months, something like that. an invite to games.
What? He's not used.
Thanks. I knew it was coming. That's why I figured I'd toss that softball up for you.
I'm pretty sure Paul is who I played Ethnos with in our last event.
No, it's not
He
allowed.
also asked on another video when our next event is. It's coming up in April. I don't think we've announced the exact date yet. We're still trying to lock everything down, but within the first couple weeks of April should be the next event. So
Yeah, April.
Okay.
O'Neill.
I'm going to battle him. Move 1. And then I have the lock, so I'll move 2.
Okay.
Discard it.
What?
We discard the key now. Oh, he
Yeah.
listened.
He listened, he says.
He learned.
Yeah.
Learned.
Learning.
He can be taught.
4, 5, 6, 7. Power.
They had help you, I'm assuming.
Huh?
They had help you, I'm assuming.
They did not.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's disappointing.
Yep.
So what do we get?
Bacon instead, because he said bacon.
Two with bacon.
It's not my fault.
Joe.
He's the one who said it.
If there could
You're
be
getting
more bacon-
dangerously close to un-American, so you need
Yeah.
to stop. Check yourself.
That's right. Thank you, Travis. Are you
Check
all done?
yourself before you wreck yourself. Check. Listen, Ice T.
I'm gonna kill this for 3 monies.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, did I play Ethnos with Paul then? Paul, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
we
was-
played Ethnos.
yeah. See.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
it
I
was-
recently played Ethnos again with Joe, and he wouldn't put the hobbits in specifically because of the strategy I used.
You played the game without the hobbits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you, or not the hobbits, the halflings.
Yeah, halflings.
I don't have a key, so I can't. Go
Which I
back
guess
there.
that even in the Lord of the Rings
One.
universe, it's the same thing, right? They
Can you
call
go to a thing and
hobbits
then come back?
halflings.
Yeah, you can go whatever pathing you want.
You can even actually not move.
Are those purple ones?
That'd be
Yeah,
what
you can
I'd
actually
advise.
choose
Are those purple ones any good though?
They're bigger versions of some of the stuff that's already of some of the smaller ones, so potentially yes.
But then I have to have 2 attack to come back too.
Well, or you
Alright,
take 2
let's
damage.
do it. 2, and I'm gonna use my 2 attack there. What was that thing? Just
7 victory points.
Oh, 7, not just
That's
1.
a number 7.
I thought it was a 1. And then I'll spend this to come back.
Oh, that was 2
Yeah.
attack power.
So that was my 3 movement, and I have 3 by. Oh, we didn't flip one up. Oh, man, Travis.
Didn't matter.
Okay. Ooh, Space Skunk.
Stinky.
Yeah, it's a space skunk instead of a
Halflings OP.
raccoon.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a space skunk instead of a space raccoon.
I have 3 by, so I'll take a good old fashioned
It's-
space pirate.
I just want to see what the flavor text is.
What's it say?
Posing as a captive, this undercover thief will give you a leg up on the competition. It's even referencing the movie.
Everyone relax. I'm
Sorry,
only here
Travis.
for your ice.
Oh, could be Ice Pirate. There's an old movie called Ice Pirates that is super extra awful with the side of awful.
Okay.
It could be that.
Psychic Master.
Yes,
Master.
master. Master. Something says a thing about thing.
It's a thing about things.
Oh, I'm almost to a
right.
safe spot, so even if I die, I get to finish the game. Good. I'm 2 away from a safe.
He said halflings are overpowered.
Yeah, they are.
No.
He said it like 45 minutes ago, Travis.
Yeah, Travis.
All right.
Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, guys. I'm really bad.
All right. So I have 3 movement, 2 attack power. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, which gets me this.
Power gauntlet.
It's actually the Nintendo Power Glove. Some people might think it's the Infinity Gauntlet, but no, it's the Nintendo Power Glove, which is why it's so radical. Radical. Anyways,
It's Lorenzo.
Il Magnifico?
yeah,
It's an Italian game.
yeah.
You have to
eat
speak an
pasta.
Italian accent.
Really?
You eat a lot of pasta and talk like this. No, I don't know. It's about beer, right?
That definitely
It's
gets more views.
it's about Italian trading
go.
and stuff like that.
Lorenzo de' Medici was one of the most influential personalities in all of history. He was not only a wary diplomat and politician during the precocious age of the Italian
becomes a plumber.
Renaissance, but also a passionate patron of artists and poets who expanded Italian glory to its peak. In this game, players vie for the same fame and prestige in becoming the most powerful and esteemed citizen of Florence.
Well, Joe's reading has nothing to do with Clank in Space, just so everyone's aware.
It's kind of
Clank.
insulting. that the game
In space.
It's kind of insulting that
Clank
the game
in
says Italy
Italy.
has peaked.
Oh, yeah.
All good?
All
Yeah, I
downhill
put
from
2
here.
in, but I got 2 back, so.
Italy will prove me wrong one day. You just wait.
Always hits that moves. Death moves.
Ethnos and Quest for El Dorado were my favorite game from 2017.
Ooh. Ethnos was good.
The bottom part of this card, you may teleport to a telepad in your current module, so I can just straight up move there.
What was the best game I played this year?
Yes.
Oh, I did not realize that's what it meant, but that's good. That doesn't matter now. I'm not going to teleport backwards, but
You should.
Yeah, you should totally do it.
so 1 movement, 1 attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by. 1 movement.
Maybe, in all honesty, the best game I played in 2017 might
I
be
can't use
Jurassic
this to
Park.
move out of
or
the security
Jurassic
zone,
Park.
correct?
No,
Dinosaur
because it's
Island.
just
That was my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like The Godfather a lot. Is that the one where you had like the mayor and
Yep.
you could buy the mayor and yeah, and there was a front and a back to each building?
Yep. That was
That
my
was-
number 1.
If I
that
if I
would be
couldn't have
good,
gotten
too.
the one that was worth 8 for me, I would have gotten one of that one
Yeah.
of those. Yeah.
Alright, reveal a
I
card.
thought
This card came
Attack.
out in 2016, actually, so.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
if I played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was Emotep this year?
Nope.
No.
It was 2016 as well.
Oh, Emotep was really good.
So it's 5.
I didn't play Wasteland Express.
Fair play, but come on.
Travis, it's your turn.
Get Princess Helia.
Oh,
Wait,
someone
you
took the
get
person
healed.
I wanted.
There's another one. There's the only person out there that he took has a duplicate. Were you gonna buy both of them?
No, the resistance leader's gone.
Oh,
Oh, I got that the round before.
Okay. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
And you get to heal one when you take her.
So I just take one of those off?
Mm-hmm.
Back here?
Yep.
Back in the bag.
Doesn't
All
seem-
set?
Yep.
Okay. Reveal a new card. Man, Travis has a huge deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
Alrighty, let's start with this guy. Draw 2 cards. That's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I have 3 movement. 1, 2. I'm going to stop here for a second and buy for 7 space bucks. The 10-point thing. Thank you. And then move on 1 more. Uh-oh. Oh, they can't go up anymore, can it? Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, buy. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Psychic Master. Psychic Master!
Are you all done?
I am all done.
I've revealed a new card. Uh-oh. A Door Sentinel.
Oh, man.
If you defeat, you get a movement.
Oh,
Yep.
man, that's so good.
Yep.
It's
Joe.
not very strong.
Die, Joe, die.
Just 5, right? Nothing else makes it more?
Alright. Not out right now, anyways.
Good thing you
Yeah.
healed. Holy cow. There's not many cubes in that bag, guys.
Nope.
Good thing we put those 9 black back in. Holy cow.
So first thing I'm gonna do is I will defeat the Door Sentinel to
Yeah.
give me 1, and then that'll be 2 movement. So that'll let me get back to here. And then
1 more spot and I'm safe. I have to stop this turn.
Wait, aren't I safe if I'm in here?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm not.
I'm not in there yet. But
Oh,
if
so-
you get to an escape pod, you get 20 bonus points.
Oh, so I can't get hurt anymore?
You can get hurt, but if you die, you still
I'll
get
go
to score.
there,
If
which
you
will cost
die
me
in
2.
the other part of the ship, you just lose automatically. You can't score your points.
Then I will.
You still had 1 fight left over. It'd be only 1.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did you buy one? Because there's not enough out there.
And then
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna go there. Ah, my eye.
Ah!
And then I got 1,
So
2, 3,
Paul's 20
4,
minutes north of us. He's in.
5.
I don't want to say cities.
He's in Michigan.
What's your favorite game of all time, Paul?
Ooh, of all time.
Of all time. Travis, what's yours? Rex. Next.
Oh my god. That'd be my least favorite game.
Matt's is Agricola. He can't change it. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever. Nope.
Even if they make Agricola too.
That's essentially Caverna.
No, they make Agricola too, but it can
Okay.
take 15 minutes with all the same enjoyment.
Does that happen
Right.
first?
Yeah.
So
All players put a clank in.
Yeah, but this was revealed first. It
Doesn't make a
matter.
difference. Doesn't matter.
Because it happens at the end of the turn.
Yeah, it's the last thing that you check for. And there's an extra thing, so it's 6 actually
Yep.
drawn out.
So Travis could die. So can I. Two
You can
more.
still die.
Oh my word.
That was pretty close, and I don't like it.
I really need to move. People need to stop buying cards. If we don't buy cards, it won't happen. I hate that I have to stop in that next spot.
I love it.
Why? You have a card that lets you go through it.
Not in this next hand. I don't know how the heck this even happened.
Travis, just run up and take the escape pod that Matt tries to take. Whichever one it is.
What color are you, Matt?
White.
Orange.
He's on the same spot as you.
Oh, I don't think I could make it to an escape pod. Where would we go?
They're over there on the side.
Yeah, but you can't get there very fast. You gotta go through all the gates and double walks.
Oh, pizza's here.
It's time!
Pizza time!
I did not put a tip on there.
Oh, okay.
So, because I
How
just
much was the total? I have $3.
I have like 2.
Okay. That should be good for
Then
10.
at least let me throw this in towards the tip.
Steve did his card.
If
Can
you
write the
just sign for me. Just sign for me. Just don't worry. If he asks to see it, it's me. That's fine. You just dropped in the left.
Outside?
Could be.
I guess
He's afraid of Emily. The dogs didn't scare him, but Emily. He's heard the reputation.
Did you go?
I did. That was me pulling the things out of the bag and stuff, I think. I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did put a favorite game of the year.
Probably
Mansion
Mansion
Madness
Madness
second edition.
Yeah, I just picked up the new expansion for that, and got to play one of the scenarios out of that expansion as well, and that was very fun. In fact, I played that 2 times since Christmas. It's really good.
Oh, that's helpful.
Do you want the space skunk?
Yeah.
And now Joe dies.
Hopefully.
Nope.
Just everyone has to put one
But
in.
we all have to put a clank in again.
I never played
That's
that one.
frustrating.
Mansions of Madness?
Yeah, Mansion Tech. It's essentially.
My turn.
I have not painted it yet, but a friend of mine backed the army case or the A cases where they have the metal trays and then you can put magnets on them. And so I have all of my mansion stuff except for one of the very newest people and the investigators with magnets on them now, and so they all go into that. It's a Cthulhu based but an app runs the game. It's very fun. I think it's really, really good.
So if I defeat
Then it will only be taking 5 out at a time instead of 6 when we draw out of the thing.
each opponent discards a card, do they choose?
Yeah, we would choose what we discarded.
That could be helpful though.
Well, it could be potentially.
I'll just do this and take 5.
So you had 3 to kill him with. Yep. Okay. So you get what, 5? Okay. And then did you buy anything or?
Oh
Because you got buying power and you got other stuff.
I got buying power. I got 2.
I have another one.
Why don't you give him that change instead of giving me that change?
Because you like the jingle jangle.
No, no, really, I don't.
You like to walk
How
around
much
with
is
this.
it a piece?
I have no idea what the total
Okay.
was.
It was
I
like
didn't hear
$29 altogether.
Yeah.
So
So I had 5 buying power just by 2 of these guys.
Okay.
okay,
All right.
and we'll reveal.
And there's your 5 money there.
So you reveal what? 2 more?
I couldn't have
One.
revealed this first, right?
No.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yep,
We got to put another clank in.
We already did one for you last time, Joe.
Thanks. I appreciate it, guys.
Got to
Really.
put one more in.
All right, all set.
Yep.
I will draw a card.
Oh my gosh. It's not good.
Just get Matt to change. 'Cause drawing the brow. Why don't I have any cards that have green on them? I could be endless.
What the heck, Joe?
You're welcome.
You had really look how polished that money is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, when it rolls around in your pocket
Oh,
like
okay.
that, you know, while you're messing around, it happens.
Were you ever a pizza delivery driver?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been two different times in my life. I actually enjoyed it, other than the fact of a couple times getting stuck or lost. But I was doing it in a time frame when they weren't as good about having the, you know how like now many addresses have the green
Yep.
thing on them. They didn't have any of that, and we also didn't have any cell phones at the time.
That's how
So
I
it was
too.
really awful.
My feet.
One of the reason I bought my
And-
first
oh,
cell
and I
phone
do-
was because
and
of
I
pizza
was
delivery
delivering in a city that I was only only mediocrely familiar with.
So
That was tough.
this will tell
Did you tip him, Joe?
Yeah.
The reason I bought my first cell phone was for pizza delivery,
How much
but
did
not
you-
for
This
GPS.
is $1.20.
So I could call people from
And
the
I-
road
and I-
like, where are
Yeah.
you?
Right.
So I'm covering for part of the tip too. That's what I'm.
Oh.
So I gave you-
well,
I gave you, like,
yeah, okay, whatever. That's
8.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
880
that's
is what I
your
gave you.
longest money.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah.
Watch your head.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Slow down there, killer.
Whoa, technical
Wow.
difficulties.
Jeez. Wow. Wow.
All right.
Suddenly that whole half the thing's dark. I don't understand why.
Oh, bad guy. Came
Yeah,
out.
bad guy just came out.
Oh.
And I took my clank away just in time.
Oh my gosh, Joe. I'm gonna be
Alright,
so
well,
irritated
Let me
if I.
kill Travis.
No, you're gonna end up killing me.
Who's gonna die?
Why couldn't you die?
Because I don't care if I do. I'm
6.
safe.
Oh, who's not safe?
Just Steve.
Oh, that's Steve.
6 of
No,
them.
I haven't gotten a chance to get that far.
Uh-oh, there's 1 for Travis and 2 for Matt.
Oh, I died.
Oh, Travis dies. Brr, 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 brr.
Okay,
Alright.
so
Gotta get
those
more
all
turns,
go
right?
off. These go
What?
to.
All done?
You don't get any more turns, but you still get the score and stuff. So
Right,
you
right,
still
right.
Win.
So what you can do is if you take the basic cards out, the ones that have the gray top on them, and set those to the side, and any card that doesn't have victory points on it, and set that to the side. Don't put them back out, but just set them to the side. Then things can be done from there with them. Man, I am
Victory
so
point each for money.
yeah one per yeah
Wow.
yeah. Okay,
One
so
move this turn,
I
Matt.
play that to put down a clank.
Then go to the 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
There we go.
Or
and
escape.
then
I
I'll
can't.
put
Oh,
him out
yeah, go to
to
2.
draw a card.
Oh, Chrissy, lay down.
Um,
Well, Travis could eat. He's done.
That. So I move 1, which gives me 1. I get to teleport to adjacent location. And then I have 6 buying power and 2 attack power. So what can I do out here?
Dance.
2 attack.
Yeah.
I had the largest army by far, and they couldn't protect me in the end.
They malfunctioned.
Yeah, we get for having a little bit of
Man.
I feel like I should be able to use them against you guys.
When Travis' turn come around, does he just draw cubes from the bag or no?
Yes, he just draws
Ooh,
cubes
so you
from
are
the back.
attacking us now. Return.
Oh, like a ghost. Oh, these can't go back because you buy them, though.
Yes, like a ghost.
You have to say, ooh.
I will take you. Oh, Matt, me and you.
No, does anyone care if I get a slice of pizza?
No, go
No,
for
no,
it.
no, no, no. It's all about that.
Paul, I hope you ordered pizza too.
Yeah, Paul, I hope you're enjoying pizza too.
Actually,
What does it say? Did you?
He asked if Steve rebased them, or if he kept them on the original basis.
I left mine on the original bases, but my biggest ones I'm gonna probably rebase because they take up too much room in the thing. Those original bases are okay, but they work perfectly for the magnet system that I got. They had just enough space underneath where once you put the slide the cardboard thing in that explains what it is to put the little magnets on.
Because Mansion's his favorite game. That's why we're okay. Gotcha.
Yep, that's why we're
Right.
discussing it.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Roger.
Gosh darn it, I can't even do that.
No.
It doesn't make sense to do that. It doesn't make sense to do that. I don't have enough to do that.
Make the big read on this.
That's fine.
Pretty much.
What are you worried about?
6.
Are you sleeping outside?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd be a little concerned then.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll just rub my arms together real
Holy
quick.
cow! In uniform and everything.
We're streaming.
Huh?
We're streaming.
Are you?
Yep.
+1 clank.
You always said you were. Where's the camera?
Right there and right here.
Where's the camera?
Yeah, and then there's one pointing this way.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Turn it off.
Did you go catch that guy yet? Huh? The gas station dude.
2.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this
It's in the news.
for 3.
Oh, the armed robbery?
Yeah. Oh, geez, I don't know what you're talking about then.
I don't know.
Yeah, the armed
I'm gonna
robbery.
use this now.
In Duran, Travis.
What?
Go ahead.
When?
Just the 30th, right?
Why
The
is
guy
there
had
text
2
on-
arms. The guy had 2 arms. That was the first thing.
Huh?
And he was trying to.
It's not a drag call.
Oh, is
So
that?
1 attack.
Oh, good.
Use
Well,
this
Jay.
guy.
Stay
That's what he gets
please.
for not wanting to.
Why isn't there text blast to notify everyone?
It was on Duran now. That is your text blast.
I don't follow that.
Oh,
It's yeah, it's a state.
Oh
police.
my gosh! Come
+1
on.
clank. That.
taking some clank.
Your wife
Funny
just
in the
gave me
bank.
a whole
4
like
by, I
stack
can't
of
do
pictures. Says, hey, there's one.
Anything with 4 by.
There are, yeah. I mean, you could buy the last phaser.
Pointless.
Yeah. All set, Travis. You need to attack this, but we can just do it, right? Because he's eating.
Yeah. So
Wait,
whatever
you gotta
it
put
is.
another card out first.
They'll follow me later.
Helpful prodigy.
And yourself?
Here, I'll actually put mine in.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, you don't play the game fairly.
That's probably a good idea.
6 that you're pulling out. Unfortunately.
Man, oh man, oh man.
Boop, boop, boop.
Oh man, 3 more. 3 orange.
Josh.
Boop, boop.
Oh no.
Okay. So we all. So put all yours on, and then we have to put 1.
Thinking. My Wendy's uniform.
Jerry's home.
Yeah, this stuff just got real
It's a
here.
good thing I just healed. It's a
No,
really
it's my
good thing I
turn.
just
Yeah, it's your turn.
Jeez. Clank. And I have 2 movement and 3 buy. Well,
You have 2 movement?
Picture.
no, 1 movement. I'm sorry. Matt's going. Oh, you're coming down that way, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That picture.
Yeah, eventually.
Who would be there taking a picture that's not in the picture?
I'm just gonna stay there. I'm not gonna chance it.
I'm
And
assuming you want this?
can I take it just standing there?
Oh,
Standing
no. I thought you moved out of there.
there? No, I was going to, but I don't want to chance it because if you come ahead of me and have something with a
Like
skip or
perfect
something,
sense.
then I'm screwed.
Is it
go
'cause
2
Josh is
attack.
sitting at home?
Do I want more clank?
You may
I
not.
have 3 buy. I guess I'll buy this guy because he's green.
That's a good idea.
And I'm just gonna.
Look,
Potentially kill us.
I'm done. Are you?
Yes. Thank you.
Why is it
you.
every
We're not drawing and killing me. That's. I was.
Oh,
Yeah. No, like
yeah.
I'm not out yet, so I could actually
Oh,
die.
right,
That was
yeah.
why I was trying. That was like. Like I've been sweating
Oh my
bullets
gosh! I
the whole
thought that was you.
No, that's me right there.
Why is Travis's guy on the board? I would have moved.
Joe, why is Josh flicking us off?
Is it okay if I move still?
I don't care.
I was. That's all I wanted to do was move.
Sure.
But I thought
No,
that was
no,
you
no,
up
that's
here, and I was like, oh crap, Steve's gonna cut me off. But I'd rather
Don't
move
try and
up
tell
one
me
step.
about stuff.
Really?
You wanna
Alright,
tell me
you good?
first?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm still safe.
So I'll do
right?
that to draw a card. Oh my gosh. put that guy out. Which puts Clank in. 2, and then I will draw a card.
There's a picture of us at like Warp Tour one year, and Emily said Josh looks like a homeless man that we found.
Who took these pictures? Who took that picture? That's what we're trying to figure out. Who's taking? If all of us are there, who's taking them?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You probably just ask people.
It's from like when we were in high school. I have no idea who would have took that picture.
Doesn't Josh look like a bad kid?
He's flicking out the camera? Yes.
Dude, he's flicking almost every picture I've seen. He's
There's a
flicking
couple
the
of
camera.
pictures where you look like the kid from Stranger
I'll
Things.
turn that in to get
The one with
one
the weird teeth?
life back.
I have a joke
that
one, or it's in here somewhere.
I had my longer hair.
Yeah, he had longer hair.
Oh man.
What the heck is going on in that picture?
I don't know.
Oh, is that when he gets tied up Sprague or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in something else. NP himself, yeah.
I never saw that picture before.
Should have one more. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna pick this up off the ground.
Just looking at.
This is still stuff going on over there.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No covered base cards or anything. That's at Kirby's house.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is. The wood paneling. It's your family.
Somebody,
Oh, you didn't get any movement.
How do you know Derby?
And I actually have a decent. I mean, I don't have as
Yeah.
much. I don't have like
That's
every
cool.
one of the others, but I have a decent amount in there, and I have not gotten it hardly any for like 3 turns.
No, is that your sister?
That's
3,
Crystal
6,
Wilhelmine.
7,
What
8,
was her friend?
8.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okie dokie. Draw 2 cards.
Hey, try to get down.
You ever talking to Justin Paisley ever?
Mm-mm.
He's had a falling out with
It's Brian at Hooters for his birthday.
Draw a card for each power crystal
He
you
would be
have.
happy to
Okay.
take him off all day.
A fiance. Not a girlfriend. A fiance.
Who does the fiance?
Draw a card.
Bugs.
Oh yeah.
You, Travis. Look how happy Jay is. I've never seen him smile.
I wonder why.
Oh, it was because he knew there was pudding.
He's getting ice cream, that's why.
Draw a card.
I must have missed out on that trip. Sorry, I looked at you, Barry. Don't get excited.
Smart name. With long hair.
Yep.
Send those to Amy. Josh is following her on
Jay is the
everything.
only.
Oh, not that one.
Yeah, not that one.
That's his ex-girlfriend.
Who's that?
Rose Purdy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? They met at U of M Flint, right?
I don't know who that is.
She went to school with us.
I know who she is. I thought I remember that.
Oh my gosh, Matt. How many
Two
cards you got,
players.
dog?
That's on my trampoline.
2 money.
On my trampoline.
Where you said them.
A lot, because that let me draw 2 cards. That let me draw 2 cards. That let me draw a card. That let me draw a card.
Wow.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I died.
6 movement.
How's the kiddo doing?
Good. How's yours? Both doing good.
Yeah, drive my wife crazy today. My wife FaceTimed me a little bit ago.
Somebody had 1 more movement to screw you over.
She's just on the phone and she's
Oh.
like,
You have to stop.
And I can go across the street. check
Oh,
out.
okay. I mean, I'll just go around.
How's
That's
Scott
fine.
going still? Liking it?
I'm
I don't
safe.
think you can because the
So
arrows.
tonight you just gotta.
You can't go backwards.
Oh. I'm just stuck there then?
Yep.
Wow.
Dude, you
You
get-
gotta be the most.
Or
That's-
unless
that's
you
why
get
I
a
was-
teleport.
I mean, it's a
Wow.
dick move, but that's why I was trying to open.
I didn't realize that.
Six, Mike, because
Maybe I wouldn't have gone there.
his dad runs it.
Whoops.
He
4, 5, 6, yeah, 6. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6, 7 to get there.
Mhm. Then if I draw 2, you're screwed.
Yep.
taking the close-ups on
I don't think that's worth it.
It's random. Well, here's even real close. I remember the Warped Tour, man. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was me with bowling with soup.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Josh got him to sign his shoe.
Yeah, I had him sign a drumstick from the starting line.
Yeah.
I caught
It was
the
just a drumstick. It's not like it said starting line drumstick.
Did you eat all of the chicken off first, or was it a turkey drumstick?
It was a turkey drumstick.
Turkey drumstick? Nice.
Alright, so we'll do
Oh yeah, I was
1,
pretty
2.
excited about that. I've never caught
Or
anything at a
1.
concert before.
Yeah.
It hits
2, 3. I can still buy and stuff before I actually leave.
Why?
Well,
You buy before you leave.
okay.
Because once you go out, you're done.
Yeah,
you don't get to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So being on that spot is essentially leaving.
Right, but I mean, for this turn, I can still buy crap before I actually.
Before you move to the spot, you need to
Okay.
buy.
This
Is
is
what it comes down to.
Jim's old, like the place that used to be here. Like that's where the recipe is. They got the recipe from them.
Oh, that's where Papa Joe's got this?
No, that's where this place got their recipe. It was from the old Jim's Pizza that used to be in Duran.
You can tell the photos Josh took. Nothing but black darkness.
1, 2, 3. I use none to get there.
What happened, man? You used to be skinny.
Yeah, you did.
You went downhill in a hurry.
Your wife's like, no, go.
You okay, Kirsty?
Then I'll defeat this guy. Defeat gives me 4 money.
There's a problem with the thrower 8, the uniform.
Each opponent discards
He
a
warms
card.
up to me pretty quick usually.
At random or no?
That just says discards a card, so I would assume you get to choose.
All right, all set.
Yep.
I
We
gotta
gotta
say,
reveal a new card.
Yep.
your parents' house was by far the coolest house to hang out at.
Dang it.
All right, and then we attack for Travis's turn.
Yep. It's 5.
Yeah, we'll put those in there, Matt. Jeez.
Yeah, it's awful.
Steve hasn't made it out yet, has he? Oh no.
No, I didn't get any movement again.
Did you already lose or something?
Yeah.
2. Wow.
It's arbitrage.
So far, so good,
My
Steve.
points count still.
4.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
far, so good. You're good, Steve. You're not gonna die.
5. Doesn't matter.
What year are those computer monitors?
It's just in college area. All right, draw 2 cards. Oh, yes, that's what I need. The 2 cards.
No.
Oh man. All right.
Hey, Joey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll buy her. I'll defeat this guy because I'm in a checkpoint, right? Oh, I don't. He doesn't go there. So I got 5 money. And then I will
Man,
move
I'm real
2.
skinny in that picture. I think that's me.
Thank you, sir.
You're a horrendous person.
I'm a horrendous
Yeah,
person.
you're right.
That all got
You
me-
could have bought one of 2 up there. You could have pretended.
That was a big. Look, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is it just 4?
I'm gonna be salty. That's 5.
5, yeah.
That's 5.
It's a young me. Looking scared.
Looks like you're about 12 in that picture.
I would have died too.
Sorry, Steve.
I'm sorry. Oh man.
Joe could have bought one thing and got 1 point, or killed one thing and got the thing. But instead, he had to do 2.
Excuse me. I killed the thing and got 5 money, and then I bought a girl that gave me 3.
That's what I
victory
said. You
points.
could have done one or
Would
the
you
other.
would you not have done that?
No, if it was
I was
me
thinking it was Josh.
and
No,
knowing
it
you
was
would have been
Josh.
there, I'd have just bought the thing that gave me the
Just saw
5
my finger.
points and been satisfied.
Just
wrong with that?
satisfied.
Well, no, Joe's never satisfied.
Never.
Apparently so.
Not until he kills Steve.
Oh, I wonder if that's a Josh.
Intro
Or
isn't
attacks
a base,
Matt.
Is it?
What?
That's not a base, is it?
Joe,
No,
Joe,
no,
can I
no.
take
Only
that
the
one
gray
home with me?
topped ones are
Can you what?
bases.
Can I
Only
take
the
that-
ones that have a gray top. Yep.
Pinned up in
Yep.
your car.
Can I take that picture home with me?
Yeah, that's fine. Then take a picture with you.
You know, I had a picture of her on my fridge in college the entire time I was in college. 4 years. It was taped right to my fridge. Jennifer.
So we just add everything up, right?
Yeah, all the corners, all your money. Travis, do you know what your total was?
Oh no, I never counted. I
Okay,
figured I
well,
lost.
then you may as well. You never know. You beat me.
You beat Steve.
Yep.
He died.
Because Joe's a jerk.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Every time. Twice on Sunday.
Mary, you're creeping me out, dude. forgot about the wrestling match.
26.
Not bad. You count all your little things too?
What little things?
All these are points.
Oh.
Yeah, all the ones that say that have a green number on them are worth points,
Oh.
and the money is worth 1 per, so that's 5 there as well. So
Well, Matt, what do you got?
Are the power crystals worth anything?
-10.
no,
Okay. 10, 11, 12.
not unless something else gives you points for it.
Right.
Yeah, and your power crystal cost give you 3 each. So
He had something that
Oh,
makes his worth
okay.
points.
I forgot that girl went with us to the
41.
tour. I don't remember her name.
Oh, that girl, Josh's friend Talia or whatever.
Yeah.
How much?
41.
41.
What'd you get, Joe?
122?
Oh, I had 110.
Wow.
Oh gosh, I was way behind.
I'd have had 79 if I'd have been able to finish out.
I had 5 memory cores.
If not more, it depends on whether or not they got anything else.
And then
Man, I ran into a huge thing where I just could not do anything.
I got that. That gave me 7 points too.
Okay, so the yellow top cards are all separate. They go in their own little piles.
Separately, or you want them all grouped together?
No, separately.
Separately,
Like
because
memory
I'll have a way
cores,
that I'm going to put them
lasers.
away. So I'll have a way.
70
that
my points is right here.
What?
That's 70 points are right here.
Right. And then those go there.
Got 61.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep, we're gonna grab some za.
Joe won by 11 points. What'd you have?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
10,
Yeah,
11.
11 points. I
Yep.
came in second with 110. Travis came in third. Steve,
you.
What's the last?
Steve had fun. We all had
Steve
fun.
had fun.
Lies!
Like, subscribe. Thanks.
Share.
Keep an eye out for our next event.
Tony Shalhoub.
Give to charity.
We'll probably be back in a bit with another game if you want to keep watching.